Penguins Cup playoffs, only here on the Management Science Associates Sports Network. The high school hockey playoffs at MSAsports.net are sponsored in part by the Mount Lebanon Ice Arena, by Blade Runners, by S-Mark, by First Commonwealth Bank, by Carlow University, by UPMC Sports Medicine, by ProGrass, and by Management Science Associates.
Continuing coverage of the 2015 PIHL Penguins Cup Championships, sponsored by Trib Total Media, here on the MSA Sports Network. Whether you're listening
a piece of hockey history with the Penguins
on the audio portion, or if you're watching on the video portion, we appreciate you checking out the PIHL Penguin Cup playoffs here on the MSA Sports Network. Alongside Mike Azadian, Bob Orkwis, first of three from the CONSOL Energy Center. Class AA gets things started here this afternoon. Mike, number 1 seeded Erie Cathedral Prep Ramblers. They take on the 6 seeded Armstrong Riverhawks. Armstrong's road to the playoffs, Mike, includes victories over Moon and Shaler. For the Ramblers, victories over Latrobe and Bishop Canevin.
Armstrong with 1-goal games, close games, back and forth games. They were up 3-0 against Moon, held on. Donovan Wachowski with a goal and an assist. A closer game than they really wanted to. They didn't play well in the second and third period. The semifinals again against Shaler, a back and forth affair. It went overtime, could have been anybody's game, but Jacob Snyder scored in overtime. His second of the game, Taylor Smouse, the goalie, with 30 saves. And you mentioned Erie Cathedral Prep, they had their way. They beat Latrobe easily 4-1. Ben Eliason with 2 goals. And after being tied at 2-2 midway into the first period, 6 unanswered goals to win 8-2 in the semifinals over Bishop Canevin. 6 different goal scorers.
Here's our national anthem. It's a 19-2 record for the Erie Cathedral Prep Ramblers. They were the number 1 seed, as we mentioned, in all of the classification coming out through the regular season. They were first place in the Western Conference. Armstrong actually finished tied for second in the Eastern Conference, but through tiebreakers lost out to Hampton. But they have made it here, a place that as a team they're not familiar with, but there's a history of the Armstrong Riverhawks and that school district being here. Not as recent, Mike, as the history for the Erie Cathedral Prep Ramblers.
Yeah, Ford City won 2 open classifications, and then in the last couple of years, and then Erie Cathedral Prep won the title, AA title in '97, and then as Armstrong, am I wrong about that? No, and in AAA they won it in 1984. I couldn't read my own writing. But Armstrong, a combination of 2 school districts now. The Tanning has been to the semifinals, could never get to the finals and never win. with Ford City, a part of the school district now, won 2 open titles.
Ahead of the curve are the Armstrong Riverhawks. Erie Cathedral Prep has been here on this ice surface more recently as well, Mike.
Yeah, they won 3. They've been here three times now in 4 years. Last year lost 1-0 to Canavan, and in 2012 lost 4-3 to West Allegheny. 2 one-goal games. These kids, a lot of these kids were freshmen and sophomores back in 2012. Last year, a lot of these kids were here last year in that heartbreaking 1-0 loss. They would love to do something about that, and I'm sure they've got a lot of motivation to win here tonight.
Craig Barnett, the second year as the head coach for the Erie Cathedral Prep Ramblers. Doug Anthony also in his second year. He's the head coach of the Armstrong Riverhawks.
Also, you know, this Erie Cathedral Prep team, they've scored a lot of goals, the most in the classification coming into the playoffs. Now with 136 goals, they were first in goals given up coming into the playoffs with 45. They've scored 12, given up 3 in the playoffs. They score a little bit under 6.5 a game. They've won 13 straight games. On paper, they look like I don't want to say the heavy favorite, Bob, but maybe the prohibitive favorite. I don't want to say heavy because this Armstrong team's pretty darn good, but I would think that with the goal-scoring ability and the goaltending they have and all the scoring they have, they are the favorite here tonight.
Well, they're the number 1 seed, so you're considered the favorite anyway when you get to the championship as the top team. Mike and I are going to take a break, be back with the opening face-off to starting goaltenders right after this as Erie Cathedral Prep takes on Armstrong. You're listening and watching 2015 PIHL Penguins Cup Championships, sponsored by Trib Total Media, only here on the MSA Sports Network.
Own your piece of hockey history with a Penguins game-used jersey. Visit J&J Distributing at www.jjdistributing.biz and check out one of their largest selections of Penguins game-worn jerseys from your favorite Pens, past and present. Or call 724-752-1556. J&J Distributing buys, sells, and trades some of hockey's most prized possessions, including the Penguins game-worn jerseys, Penguins practice jerseys, minor league jerseys, and new and game-used equipment. Browse their inventory today at www.jjdistributing.biz.
This is Adam Horner, and as promised last year, Josh Roundtree is here to help promote Season 10 of the PIHL Power Play right here on the MSA Sports Network.
But after so many years of coverage, where can we turn for some great hockey wisdom that we haven't yet? How about the head coach of the Mighty Ducks, Gordon Bombay?
Let's have fun out there. Soft hands. You don't shoot the puck to your teammate, you sail it to him.
And don't forget the most important piece of advice ever given by our mentor, Hans.
Wear thick socks, Gordon.
Catch the PIHL Power Play every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock on MSASports.net. Attention all teenagers in the South Hills. If you need something to do on a Friday night, look no further than the TGIF Skate at the Mount Lebanon Ice Arena. Featuring a live DJ, big screen TV, special effects lighting, and games from 8 to 11, it's the place to be this winter. Mount Lebanon Ice Arena also offers an after-school skate for younger children, Fridays from 4:30 to 6 p.m., and a full range of instructional programs for all ages. For more information, call 412-561-4363 or visit mountlebanon.org.
The team at S-Mark takes great pride in the company they've built and their growing presence in Pittsburgh. Strong values, steadfast dedication, and unwavering commitment extends well beyond the walls of S-Mark facilities into virtually every facet of our local communities. From ongoing support for critical health and human services for families and children to youth sports and recreation programs. It's the many faces of S-Mark that touch lives, instill hope, and provide opportunities to enhance and enrich the world around us. S-Mark is proud to extend its support of local communities through its sports sponsorship with the MSA Sports Network.
Back at the CONSOL Energy Center with Mike Azadian, Bob Orkwis on MSA Sports. Teams are just about ready to get underway. The Class AA Championship game gets it going. It's the AA, it's AAA at 7:15, featuring Cannon McMillan and Butler. Single A is the nightcap, a 9:30 face-off between Mars and Quaker Valley. Has those two teams ever met at this stage before?
And you know what? This year, we were talking about this in the semifinals, Bobby. This year, both Quaker Valley and Mars a little tougher tasks in getting here. Quaker Valley had to come from behind, down 2-0 in the semifinals to win in overtime. Mars, it was a back-and-forth game. They had to come back down 1 goal. In the past, those two teams seemed to easily make the single way. But now since the PIHL has revamped, single way is a little bit tougher now, but those two programs are great. That should be a good game. Game 2, Cannon McMillan and Butler. Boy, what a story Butler is. Saw them play Cannon McMillan strong. That should be an interesting game. And now this game here.
Starting goaltenders, Mike, the senior versus the freshman.
Well, for Cathedral Prep, it's Jacob Kuharski. 6 games played. He's got 6 wins, 1.17 goals against average, .950 save percentage. And for Armstrong, Taylor Smouse. Smouse has been their guy all year except for 3 games. He's got 14 wins, 18 games played, 3.4, 861 goals against average.
16-3-1 if you're going to add up the playoff numbers. 8-0 for the freshman Jacob Kuharski. So,
okay.
Erie Cathedral Prep, the higher seed. So they wear the home white jerseys with the black shorts, the orange and black trim. They'll move left to right across the computer keyboard or the computer screen in this case. The Road Blues with the orange pants for Armstrong. In the goal to our right, Taylor Smouse. In the goal to our left, Jacob Kuharski. First shot on goal was slid in from the right wing by Ben Eliason, and Taylor Smouse makes the save, and he holds on a face-off coming up in the Riverhawk zone.
Captain for Cathedral Prep, defenseman, he's a forward, William Kelly.
He'll play everywhere, Mike. He's really a defenseman, but he's kind of a hybrid.
Yeah, right now he's lined up as a forward.
Yeah, he'll be up there. He'll be back at that point. You'll see him everywhere. He's one of the go-to players along with Ben Eliason. You see Kelly, after that face-off, switches back in the defense. He has the puck at the blue line. Played the center ice behind Luke Gross, and now Armstrong gets possession. They'll dump it on the near wing. Josh Oliver with it. Gains the zone for the first time. He's on the right wing boards. Cleared out. Counterattacking is Jack Kelly. A little drop pass to Eliason. That is intercepted. It's going to be offside, and not an unfortunate offside, as Christian Miller thought he was going to come back the other way on a break. So we played 33 seconds here at the CONSOL Energy Center, scoreless between the Ramblers and the Riverhawks.
Yeah, regular season Christian Miller, their #1 scorer in Double A. A tremendous young player.
He has scored over 80-plus goals the last 2 seasons, Mike. He has not scored in the playoffs, which makes me a little wary about that.
You never know. Maybe
I think Erie Cathedral Prep may think that as well.
Maybe he was hurt a little bit. Maybe that's a fact that the other teams took him out of there.
That, plus you're concentrating on the defense a lot at this time of the year.
Regular season, 62 points, 39 goals. Boy, I tell you what a season he's had.
And Christian Miller did have a goal in the meeting earlier this year. On November 13th, Armstrong defeated Erie Cathedral Prep 5-3. Offside is called against the Riverhawks at the Erie Cathedral Prep blue line. So we've had multiple whistles in the first minute of this game.
Slow going, and this is a chance to talk a little bit about Jacob Kuharski. Took over for Trent Faulkner, and Bob, as you said, he's been in goal ever since mid-January, and he's been tremendous for this team.
You're right in the hot streak. Coach Barnett said sometime in the month of January he picked up some impressive wins, and he's been the guy. Long shot, he makes his first save on a 6-stick save on a Zane Wachowski shot from the left point. Now the puck is cleared out of the zone, back into the neutral zone. Dumped right back in by the Riverhawks, played by Brett Cox. Cox is forechecked, he'll lose the puck. On the puck is Nick Long. Centering shot, big save by Kuharski on Miller down low. He was tested early on that one as Miller was in tight, and he came up big.
Great positioning. He went right to left, and he was right there for the shot. He anticipated well.
Now Joe Kelly is in on the forecheck for Erie Cathedral Prep, kept in at the right point by Tanner White, but now squirts back to center ice, and Miller down the left wing. His backhand pass is too far for Josh Oliver. Played behind the net, though. It's Luke Gross. Gross tries to find Oliver, the captain. He does have it below the goal line. Checked nicely and taken off the puck by the Ramblers on the defensive side by White. Kept in at the left point by Nate Grafton, but now it does squirt back to center ice, and Jack Becker makes the steal. And the puck into the zone, and counterattacking comes Armstrong. Miller, long drive, heavy slapper. Just a stride over the blue line, he missed the net. Extended shift for Miller, he makes another steal, but the puck does come to Zafaris. Zafaris puts it up to Joe Sala. Sala clears the zone, and back into his zone to play at Chase Steiner for the Riverhawks. Played in the near corner by Nate Grafton, and now around to the far side, pinching in at the far point kept in by Tanner White at the left point, but he deflects it up into the Armstrong bench, and we'll have a face-off. 14:31 remains in a scoreless first period.
Another couple of things to think about. These kids down here, some of them have been here before. Nerves the first few minutes for the goaltenders, getting that first big save, as you mentioned. You get that out of the way, get the nerves out of the way, and get a couple of minutes in and get your legs under you.
Prep wins the face-off just at the blue line, and they get it into the zone with Steven Ziegler's shot from the point, blocked in front. And turning to clear zone is Jacob Gross, but he can't quite get it out. Ziegler pinches, comes in front towards the goal. Trying to work his way in was Doran Ocon with the backhand, but it was knocked off his stick and it slid wide. Good forecheck again by the Ramblers. They have it in the left wing corner. Ocon, good pass. Jack Kelly tees it up, and that is blocked nicely on the defense by Sam Long. That leads to a counterattack. Kutch down the near side for Armstrong. It's Long, Nick Long in behind the net. Plays it all around to the far corner. Jack Kelly will pick it up there, but he can't clear. Slid back in front of the net. Jake Schlosser, talented sophomore, will clear out. Nice pass right side to Nick Tragerser. He's in on the line change. Wrist shot, save, rebound. Gloved out of the air. The initial save by Smouse. The rebound by Ziegler. Also denied by Taylor Smouse.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. The shot was blocked by Donovan Wachowski, and he was real slow coming up on the ice. As soon as they got the puck in deep, he mentioned over to the bench, waved over to the bench, and asked to come off. He took that shot right under the knee. So one of their top defensemen just goes to the bench. Probably going to give him a quick look, but he was hurting a little bit.
Faulkner to Eliason in the right circle. His slapper missed the net. Kept in by Schlosser. Puts it around behind the net. Played there by Trevor Faulkner, one of the alternate captains, one of their top scorers. Rolls it in front, pitchforking at it. Was Vickery, and they poke it in! I think it came back to Trevor Faulkner, and Faulkner puts it in. The Ramblers strike first, and they lead it 1-0.
Giveaway by the defense, Bob. Right in front of the net. The defense couldn't cover. As we watch the replay, hopefully, they're going to show us that the puck was fumbled at the net. Smouse fumbled it. Here we go. Puck's behind the net. It comes out to the front by a Rambler, and the goalie and one of the defensemen have it, and Faulkner just got his stick on it. Loose puck in front. The defense, as we see it again, they just could not cover and could not clear it, and Faulkner right there with the loose puck.
It was Vickery who pried it free. Smouse might have had a chance at the near post to put a glove down it, but Vickery pried it free, and it'll be Trevor Faulkner with the goal. We'll get the call from Bob Sebastian. I know Vickery pried it free, but they're going to get Ben Elias and the only assist.
It looked to me like Vickery. I agree with you.
So a 1-0 lead for the Ramblers.
You don't cover that puck, Bob, as a defenseman and a goaltender. And two forwards for Erie right there. And Faulkner just had his stick in the right place at the right time. He top-shelved it.
Faulkner's 18th of the season, Mike, and in the playoffs, his third goal. He's the leading scorer for the Ramblers in the 3 playoff games so far. Well, 2 and this one in progress. He now has 3 goals, 3 assists in 3 playoff games. Counterattack, and Armstrong is on the forecheck. That puck is played around to the far corner, though, for Hunter Emerson. Emerson back in the lineup. There was a thought that he may have gotten a dislocated jaw. He took a cheap shot on an elbow at the end of the Bishop Cannon game in the semifinals earlier this week at the Robert Morris University Island Sports Center, but good to see him back in the lineup for Erie Cathedral Prep. And here comes Christian Miller. He's 1-on-3, but he finds room down the right side. Wrist shot blockered away by Kuharski. Rebound put on by Donovan Wachowski, never made it to the net. Hunter Emerson out of the zone. His cross-ice pass cannot find Jack Kelly. Puck is in the zone, however. Miller clears it up, can't get it out. We're going to get our first penalty of the game, and it's going to be a cross-checking call.
Man, that's another thing we didn't talk about a lot, Bobby. And, you know, everybody knows goaltenders how important they are in playoff hockey. Your stars have to do well. You have to play a defensive brand of hockey. But I think a lot of times, even more important than anything else that happens, is you have got to do well on special teams. You've got to convert on the power plays, and you've got to kill penalties. If you can do those two, Bobby, for all these years I'm doing this, the teams that do that the most are the teams that usually come out ahead.
Throughout the playoffs, the penalty killing perfect, by the way. Cross-checking against Joe Kelly, 5:29. So Armstrong is on the man advantage. Puck is played in, shot in front. There was traffic, and Kowarski went down low, made the save. Still in, poke down low, and another stick save. First a pad save to the left side, and then back to the right side, a stick save. Puck is cleared back to the neutral zone. Get you the numbers in a second here. David Contrell at center ice. Fires it near side to Luke Gross. Back to Contrell, gains the zone, wrist shot. Blocked by Jack Kelly. Played by Schlosser, but not out. In behind the net, good forward check by Josh Oliver. Oliver gets some help by Contrell. He takes a cross check from Jack Kelly, comes to Wachowski. Wrist shot, that deflects high to the glass. On the near side, pinching in, keeping it in on the near point. Luke Gross, his centering pass, no one home except for Schlosser. Clears the zone, 2-on-1 shorthanded. Slap shot by Victory, that is blocked. Nicely good stick work by Luke Gross. And Armstrong will have a chance out of their own zone. They'll find Josh Oliver. He comes down the left side, gets in clean. Stopped by Kuharski, and he holds on. Boy, Kuharski has been sharp in the early going.
Interesting. Yeah, very good point, Bob. I was going to mention that earlier. He seems to be positionally well. He's on his game. Interesting that Armstrong changed defensemen on the fly, on the play, on the power play. Very interesting, because what if you come down and those guys are coming down late? Very strange that they did that on the power play.
Armstrong in the playoffs 1 for 5 with a man advantage. That shot, is blocked. Kuharski give up some room. Koch was in front, but it was blocked in front. And now hauled down. That's going to be a penalty.
Yep.
He's trying to come out of his own zone. One of the Rambler skaters, and that's going to even things up. I think it was Kelly, Jack Kelly, who was hauled down.
Armstrong got away with something in the first minute of the game, and they got away with a hold, interference type thing, and now they're going to get called for one. So now 0 for 1 on the power play. They'll play 4-on-4 for 36 seconds. And you are right, that is going to be Jacob Gross.
Tripping the call against Jacob Gross.
It's a good call. He had the puck, and you impeded his progress. And
this penalty comes at 6:53, so 36 seconds of 4-on-4 hockey, and then a minute 24 in the man advantage for the Ramblers. So they are setting it up just like a power play. Shot is blocked from the near point by Eliason, deflected in front by Eliason. The first shot by Faulkner. Faulkner gets it back and pokes it in. Trevor Faulkner has 2. The Ramblers have 2. 2-0 for Erie Cathedral Park. A 4-on-4 goal.
He had the puck at the top, in between the circles. Clear line to the goal. Took a shot. Good save by Smouse, but he gave up a rebound. Here comes the puck. Nobody there. Gives up the rebound. Comes right back to him. Couldn't clear it. Defense couldn't get rid of it. And what I tell you what, he hit it so hard as the puck goes to the front of the net. Now back to the front. Good assist. And there's nothing that he could do, Smouse, after he gave up that big rebound.
It's like Eliason will get an assist. Potentially Tanner White as well. So 2 assists for Eliason. 2 goals for Faulkner. It was 5, Mitch Lubowski, not Tanner White.
Now on the power play is ECP.
So on the season, or in the playoffs, Armstrong is now 1 for 6, 3 for 10 for the Ramblers coming into this game. Here comes Faulkner down the left wing, look for a hat trick, drops it in front, off the skate of Vickery, comes to Jack Kelly, right circle. Pass, shot, pass in front, misses Eliason. Played to the far side, kept alive at the left point by Schlosser. And a heavy shot misses the net. Jack Kelly pinches. Right wing half boards dumped behind by Vickery. Eliason slides it back to Kelly, but no one home except for the man Jake Schneider, and he clears the zone.
Armstrong really needs to kill this, Bobby. They can't afford to get down.
They stretched for Armstrong in the third period against Moon. The Tigers, Mike, had 3 straight power plays plus a 6-on-5 shift.
Yep.
And they gave up a brief 2 brief 5-on-3, so they were 7 minutes shorthanded, which they withstood. A stretch in the third period for the Ramblers against Canevin as a shot by Erie Cathedral prep save. Rebound Jack Kelly. That shot is blocked. Schneider outlets, shorthanded opportunity. Nick Long, he's good shorthanded, tries to force his way to the net, and he does. He's barreled over as he barrels in on the defenseman. I think it was Tragersu who was back defending, and also he knocks over Kucharski. Actually, it was Tanner White. They all went tumbling into the cage.
And Long did the sportsmanship thing. He's just playing hard, not trying to hurt anybody. He got up and he tapped Kucharski on the forehead.
And that
win over, hey, I didn't do that on purpose.
Just to finish the thought, Mike, in the win over Bishop Canevin, there were 4 consecutive penalties called against Erie Cathedral Prep, including a brief 5-on-3. They were shorthanded for 8 minutes in that game.
That's crazy.
And were able to kill it off.
Still winning it, but they score so much. Sometimes they can afford that. afford to take a few penalties here and there, but in a close game, you could that could backfire on you. But again, 2-0 now, midway through this first period. If you cannot let them have a third goal before you get one, or Armstrong's in trouble.
Ramblers have jumped out to a 2-0 lead on a pair of Trevor Faulkner goals, and this shot rules in on Smouse, and he gloves it. Ramblers, the Erie Cathedral Prep Ramblers, trying to win their third overall Penguins Cup and their first since 1997.
It's been a while. I wonder if there's any alumni in the audience. Maybe there's some listening to us, but sure they're hoping for another victory. But a decent crowd of folks coming down from Erie, but boy, the Armstrong crowd really came down from Katanning, Ford City area, and they're in their blue and white below us.
Face-off was won to flex up into the meshing, and the penalty is over. So both teams now 0 for 1 with a man advantage. We're 5 aside, but with a 4-on-4 situation, the goal scored by Faulkner on the rebound of his own shot. He has both goals for the Ramblers, and they have a 2-0 lead, not even halfway through this first period.
And Wachowski's back for Armstrong, by the way.
After blocking that shot, puck played back into the Ramblers zone. Armstrong has to tag up, which they do. That gives Joe Kelly or Zaffris a chance to get out of his own zone, but it's passed to Sala is off the mark, and that's going to be icing against Erie Cathedral Prep. The winner of this game, well, they already know their opponent. And I saw 130, but I can't be assured of that. But the championship games for the Pennsylvania Cup are next Saturday at the Pagula Ice Arena. Yesterday, Downingtown East, the Cougars defeated North Penn 4-1. They were a 13th seed, Mike. They had a playoff game to get into the Flyers Cup. They pulled off 4 straight upsets.
It's always nice to see a story like that.
They won their second Flyers Cup.
They had a great time last year up there doing all.
Oh, that's a great facility.
Great.
So you got this facility, that facility.
Well, we did all 3 games.
We did. We personally did not, but MSA Sports did.
Right.
Centering pass, backhander, stick save by Kuharski on the shot down low by Josh Oliver. Good job by the freshman. Have that paddle down low. Has 7 shots apiece in this first period.
Yeah, Armstrong finally starting to come on. They've got 3 or 4 shots in the last couple of minutes.
Miller gets it into the zone near side. Josh Oliver, left circle wrist shot. That is blockered down. Oliver gets it back, left circle again. Another blocker save by Kuharski. Wachowski puts a backhanded pass through the crease in front. Comes to the near boards, the left wing boards. Played around by Trevor Faulkner. Faulkner puts it behind the net to Tanner White. Clears it up but not out. Kept in by Donovan Wachowski. Takes a slapper from the right point. Put in front, Miller has it, but he couldn't just quite drag it and tee it up. Dumped behind the net by Luke Gross. On the far side, it is Jake Schneider, Nick Long, plays it on the near side. And it comes back to Miller. Left point, Sam Long shot, deflects wide. On the attack, Zach Koch. Good forecheck by the Riverhawks. That is blocked in front as they found Christian Miller, the sniper, Mike, where you want between the circles by John Ogika, the sophomore defenseman, made the block.
And not only that, but Kuharski is very sharp, very, very sharp. He's seeing everything.
He's following well.
His reactions are unbelievable. His block save, his glove save, his stick save, every part of his body right now, his reactions are tremendous right now.
Puck's played to center ice, dumped right back in by Brett Cox. Cox might have been out there on that defensive stand as well. Erie Cathedral Prep. Cox pinching in, takes a hit from Nick Long, but he'll keep it in. Now he loses it back to center ice. Long tries the steal. Long does get it back. He got some help from Jacob Gross, who enters the zone. Picked from behind, though. Doran Ocon turns the other way. Gets to center ice, and Nick Trageser will dump it in for the Ramblers. Comes right back to Erie Cathedral Prep. Slobowski will fire it right back into the Armstrong zone. 5:35 to go in this first period. 2-0 lead for Erie Cathedral Prep. Behind the zone net, Nate Grafton plays it up to the blue line. Needs some help to get it out. Gets a second effort and now does backhand it back to center ice. Dumped into the Ramblers zone. They'll play it near side, and now they'll reverse to try to set it up. It's Doran Ocon. Ocon fires it to the neutral zone. Return pass to Ziegler is off his blade, but he gets help from Ocon. Ocon down the right wing, enters the zone. Puts a pass in front, stick aside by Smouse. Grafton had good coverage, though.
That was dangerous.
Yeah, Ziegler was in front. Here comes the counter. Christian Miller down the right side. Drags, still drags, and Kuharski got a piece of it. Denied the shot. Turning shot by Schneider misses. Miller puts it in front, no one home. Schneider at the right circle, skates to the goal line. Centering pass. Blocked by the skate of Ziegler, who puts it up to Trageser, and the Ramblers clear the zone.
Calmly clear the zone. Calmly bring it out of the zone after Katanya's really come on in the last 5 minutes, Bob. And Erie Cathedral Prep, their defense just easy, takes their time, gets the puck out.
Miller had the break too, Mike, trying to come in. Looking for
went-
goal number 40, but they forced him in front. And there was enough traffic, and then Kuharski did not allow him to get a shot cleanly. Here's a steal, and it's Joe Kelly wrist shot. Tremendous block on the defense by Grafton. Joe Kelly has it on the right wing half boards in behind to Hunter Emerson. Emerson in the right wing corner, slides it back to the point to White. He'll step into a wrist shot. It was Schlosser who fired it wide and cleared up and out, and that may be long enough for icing against the Riverhawks, and it will be with 4:02 left in the first period.
A couple of things, Bob. Kuharski right now, the difference, also Faulkner, but Kuharski's made 3 or 4 really big saves. He's made a couple in traffic. He was there on Christian Miller's break, got his pad out there as Miller tried to drag and then kept it forward. As they replay it, he kept it on his right side. He tried to make a move that kept it there, but Kuharski wasn't fooled. That was a big save because most goaltenders are going to bite and go to the right, and that short side would open up.
Fortunate on the poke check because he got the heel of the stick to make that block, and that's a pretty good goal scorer he denied. Kuharski, by the way, as a freshman, he's big, 6'3". And again, at this time of the year, you've played enough in league games and also other games, tournament games as well for the Ramblers, that Jacob Kuharski, Mike, is really a freshman in classification only.
You are correct, sir. Both teams 0 for 1 on the power play, by the way, and point streak is not updating today. So
Vickery gets a pass at center ice. We get a whistle away from the play. I think it was a hand pass, and we're going to get a penalty behind the play.
PCP.
Called against Mitch Slubowski.
And that's big now because, again, Cathedral played pretty well in the first 5 minutes, got those couple of goals. Smouse a little shaky, the defense a little shaky. Armstrong withstood that. They started coming on, and Kuharski saved ECP. Now, as Armstrong is starting to play better, has a chance with 3:33 here in the first period to get up on the board.
13:27, the time of the penalty against Mitch Slubowski. And the Hawks.
The ECP crowd saying, we can't hear you, to the Armstrong crowd. Interesting.
I got Tanner White. I thought it was 5, but it's 6. So Tanner White for cross-checking. So a man advantage for the Riverhawks. Put it in the circles. It's behind Josh Oliver, and that gives Hunter Emerson a chance to gain the puck, and he backhands it out of the zone. And Smouse, with an on-rushing Joe Kelly, has to cover up on the puck.
The thing that, even more than Kuharski's play that has impressed me, is the defense for Cathedral Prep just takes their time. They don't rush. A lot of guys just rush and whack at the puck and never clear it out. They take their time and clear it out easily, and in fact, right on goal.
Riverhawks in their own zone. And again, they had not a full power play, but it was negated late. They had about a minute and a half of man advantage time, and they gained the zone this time. Grafton on the right side. Leaves it there for Jacob Gross, right circle, wrist shot save. Rebound, big right pad save by Kuharski. They stopped the initial shot, denies the rebound. He remains sharp. He's stopped all 11 shots he has faced, and the puck is cleared back to center ice by Hunter Emerson.
They cannot get anything going right now. ECP's defense playing well.
Nick Long to Jacob Gross. Center pass and long, wrist shot, save Kuharski. Covers up on the rebound as Jacob Schneider was knocked down, pushed down from behind by Jack Kelly, and maybe a little embellishment for Schneider to try to draw a penalty.
And the Rambler fans, they're not booing. I think they're saying coo for Kuharski. And boy, I tell you what, how quick did he cover up on that rebound? It hit him, and he got his hand right out there very fast. His reactions right now are just, he's at the top of his game.
53 seconds left on the Armstrong power play. They win the face-off. They set up on the near boards, left wing half boards. It's Josh Oliver. Center point, that's Gross. Luke Gross skating around with it. Back to the center point now, drifting near side to Wachowski. Pass across, deflected away. Christian Miller will get it on the near half boards with 30 seconds to go. Slides it in behind the net. Looks for a return pass, gets it from Oliver. Walks in on the backhand, but is forced behind the net by Zafaris. Centers it. Gross is open. He'll tee up the wrister. And getting a piece of it on the Luke Gross snapper was Kuharski. Dumped down low to Miller. Loses possession. Played back by Slubowski. Near side to Jack Kelly. Can't clear. Armstrong pinches in to keep it alive. It'll keep it at the point. Shot is blocked in front by Slubowski. Contrell tracks it down. It's 1 second. We're 5 aside. Out of the penalty box. comes Tanner White, gets a pass from Jack Kelly. Deflects away from him, and Luke Gross has to play it in his own zone with 1:23 to go in the first period. 2-0 lead for the Ramblers. Christian Miller at center ice. Finds a teammate, that's Koch, into the zone. Loses the puck. Picked up by the Ramblers. Trevor Faulkner counterattacks through the neutral zone. Steps into a snapshot and a glove save made by Taylor Smouse, so hold on.
Probably one of his best all night. He just got that out of the air. Don't know if it would have been on net or not. Maybe not. But one thing, let's go back to the power play, Bob. I think that Armstrong, they took their time. They were waiting to take a shot. And then when they did get a chance to get a shot, that would have been on goal. When they did get a chance to get a shot from the defense, they couldn't tee it up. They didn't have. It took too much time, and the defense and Kucharski were waiting.
Schlosser up in, finds Jack Kelly, who walks in. Left side backhands it high and wide. Near side, Trevor Faulkner with the 2 goals. Skates, tries the center. Eliason has some room. Good job by Smouse. He just kept that left toe over here to keep that out. Shot from Jack Kelly through a screen. And Smouse into the butterfly, absorbs the puck. There's no rebound.
You know, Smouse went a while. He didn't have a lot of action from about the 7-minute mark on. Prep had 7 shots at about the 7-minute mark. They've been outshot badly in the last 7 minutes, and he's come up big. 2 big saves in the last minute.
Face out to the left of Taylor Smouse. 43 seconds to go in this first period. 1 by the Ramblers. Jack Kelly dumps it in behind the Riverhawks net. Hawks have possession. Armstrong will play it up the near boards and get it out of the zone to the blue line. Trying to get in on the forecheck was Luke Gross. He can't do it. And the Ramblers in their own zone with Schlosser. His pass finds no one except for Donovan Wachowski. Wachowski will work it out of his near zone. A return pass to Luke Gross. Gross comes down the left wing, skates behind the net, centers it open. Shot deflected. Oh, and a good stick there. Oliver's shot. Slapper misses the net. Oliver's shot was deflected by Eliason playing defense. Return from the near side by Jacob Gross, saved by Kucharski. And the period ends. A little flurry by the Riverhawks, but as was the case, Jacob Kucharski up to the task. 2 goals in the first by Trevor Faulkner. And after 1, the Erie Cathedral Prep Ramblers lead Armstrong by a score of 2-0. We'll take a break. You're listening and watching the 2015 PIHL Penguins Cup Championships, sponsored by Trib Total Media, right here on the MSA Sports Network.
Want to learn how to ice skate or play hockey like they do in the PIHL? Looking for a good place to throw that winter birthday party? If you answered yes, Blade Runners is the place to go for public or private skating sessions, plus learn to skate and learn to play hockey classes. And don't forget to check out PIHL game action at their 2 locations in Harmarville and Warrendale. For more information on ice time, class and game schedules, or party planning, visit their website at www.bladerunnersice.com. See you at the rink.
The history books are filled with the names of great athletes and great teams from Western Pennsylvania. They share stories of great victories and stunning defeats, but they all have one thing in common. They know the championship season is the time to be first. First Commonwealth Bank, proud sponsor of the WPIAL and the best high school athletes in Western Pennsylvania. First Commonwealth, time to be first.
Life is about having the confidence to know you can do anything, right? I get that at Carlo.
I graduated with top awards, but beyond the classroom, Carlo helped me learn a lot about myself.
Carlo brings out the best in you.
I know I'm going to be a fantastic nurse.
I know whatever I come across, I'll be prepared.
I can't think of a better place to start the rest of my life, because at Carlo, I know I matter.
I matter.
I matter.
Enroll at Carlo University. Visit carlo.edu.
Second period is underway with Mike Azadian and Bob Orkwis on MSA Sports. Teams have flip-flopped, so the Riverhawks move from left to right in the blue and orange. It's the black and orange with more white for Erie Cathedral Prep. They move from right to left for the second period. 2-0 lead, pair of goals for Trevor Faulkner. Mike and I will have the between-period scoring summary brought to you by Blade Runners. Check out their 2 locations, Harmarville and Warrendale. Warrendale will be hosting the Division II semifinals Monday night. Wrist shot, save, as Smouse denies Joe Kelly with the shoulder. Dylan Elliott behind the net, walking out on his stomach. Fired just wide by Joe Kelly. So Prep with an early possession. Good forecheck behind the net. Elliott on the backhand, skates all the way around to the right wing half boards, goes to the right point to Jack Kelly. Shot deflected. That's a good save by Smouse on the tip by Emerson.
He got his left glove on it, just barely.
Riverhawks clear up the near side. They'll get a chance with Zach Koch to play it back to center ice and actually back into the Ramblers zone. And the Riverhawks go for a line change. And out of his own zone comes Erie Cathedral Prep, winding his way. Jack Kelly, but he loses the puck at the blue line, taken away by Contrail, and he gave it away. Dumped in by Elliott. Now the Ramblers go for a line change. Behind the net, Donovan Wachowski. His pass knocked down, but now does squirt back to center ice, but Schneider can't get there on the puck first to Jake Schlosser. Schlosser has it and dumped around by Richard Vickery. Kept in at the far point by Sam Long. Played right back out by the Ramblers. Minute 45 into the second period.
ECP's defense really tight right now.
There comes Christian Miller down the left wing. Has a step on Schlosser. He's on the backhand. Centers it, save all. Snyder had the rebound on the backhand. He just couldn't tee it up cleanly. A little sneaky backhander by Miller. That hit the inside of the pad of Kuharski.
Just throw it to the net.
On the puck centers, it's deflected. They had Wachowski between the circles. Knocked away on the Snyder attempt and played right back in. The Riverhawks need to tag up. They're going to be offsides, and they're going to be called for it as they line change. And Oliver never cleared the zone, and that's going to be a face-off. It's where's the face-off going to be? I thought it was offside, but it's going to be a hand pass against the Ramblers.
You know, Bobby, Trevor Faulkner with 2 goals here tonight. He has an 11-game point streak that he had, the longest of the season for anybody for Erie Cathedral Prep from October 16th through January 19th, most on the team. Also had 2 hat tricks on the year.
Faulkner has registered points in all 3 playoff games here at Cathedral Prep. Goal and assist in the win against Latrobe. A goal and 2 assists in the semifinal win over Bishop Canterbury. A pair of goals in the finals so far. The only 2 goals of the game. Ramblers up 2-0.
Most goals in the game, though, Ben Eliason had 4 in a game in December against Latrobe.
Both of those players were named to the All-Star team. In his own zone, Zane Wachowski plays it around. It's behind Josh Oliver. And he had to play it on the skate. Knocked down on the check. Chris Atherton kept in as he threw the check. Stick save on the shot from Schlosser from the left point. On the forecheck, Jack Becker puts it behind the net. Wachowski will come to the near side on the backhand, slide it up, but can't connect with Luke Gross. Puck finds its way to Joe Sala. Sala plays it over to Becker, who dumps it in. And Zane Wachowski will restart the machine for the Riverhawks. Played to the far point, kept in by Brett Cox, however. And Josh Oliver has to come back in his own zone. Near side to Luke Gross. Gross will come down the right side, 1-on-4, 1-on-5. He'll snap it in. That's a lot more trouble than that should have been 1-on-5. Finally, they get a whistle. Good persistence by Luke Gross. Harmlessly threw it to the net, and that got a little bit more scary for the Ramblers.
Bounced around a little bit. If it hits the defenseman's skate, then it hits the goaltender. We're going to see the replay on it as Kuharski made the original save, fumbled it, and then his defenseman.
It was Brett Cox.
And then a couple of guys from Armstrong get in there. They get on top of Kuharski, and then there's a little bit of pushing and shoving.
Kuharski never had the puck, actually.
I know, he never really did.
Cox was sitting on top of it.
He fumbled it and just couldn't control it.
By the way, in the semifinals, Jacob Gross had to miss a game for Armstrong, but he's back, and Armstrong liked that because they can roll 3 lines now, as well as Erie Cathedral Prep. And the Ramblers, with a pair of goals in the first period by Trevor Faulkner, lead this contest 2-0. Tanner White in his own zone. Deflected way up in the air. Off the leg of Gross, that's Jacob Gross, kept in, pass to the point, and no one was there. As Grafton has to go back to get it. He was not at the left point. Played into the zone. Offside is called against the Riverhawks.
You know, Bob, we talked
offside
about
icing. It's actually icing.
We talked about ECP and their players. Christian Miller, through the end of the regular season, was on an 11-game point streak, as was Joshua Oliver. Those two had 11-game point streaks. Most points in the game, Miller twice with 7. Most goals in the game, Miller had 7 against Bishop Canterbury back on December 18th. Christian Miller also had a 5-goal game and a 4-goal game.
Josh Oliver has not scored in the playoffs. Christian Miller has assists in both games, so his streak is still current. Their leading scorer in the playoffs, Jacob Schneider, 2 goals, a game winner, 3 points for Nick Long, 2 goals and an assist for Armstrong. Christian Miller, just those 2 assists, and you know he's chomping at the bit to get a goal, and here he comes down the left side with room. His pass across, a saucer pass. Snyder can't get it. Miller puts it in front but never got there. It was just deflected on the side of the net by Schlosser, and it's tied up on the meshing. Now Contrail and Schlosser, a little pushing and shoving.
Yeah, you're going to start to see that. Sometimes it takes a period and a half, but now things are getting tight. Now Armstrong realizes that, okay, we're down 2-0. We're out shooting them only by 3. They really outplayed us in the first 5 to 6 minutes, but since that time, it's been even, or maybe Armstrong with a little bit of an advantage. They've outshot them, I'd say, I think about 15-5 since about midway through the first period. They have no goals to show for it.
15-12 lead, so 2 shots for the Riverhawks in this period, 3 for the Ramblers. Armstrong gets the puck back to Wachowski, deflection! Wachowski wristed it from the center point. It hit something in front. It beats Jacob Kuharski, and the Riverhawks are on the board.
I mean, his reactions are solid, no doubt about it. But when on deflections, you can stop what you can see, and you can stop deflections if you could get there. But he's going far right and far left, and that puck just deflected. Let's see what it hits.
There was a man. It might have been Luke Gross.
Might have been a defenseman, no?
Or a defenseman.
But he was going to cover his left post. He was on his way to his left post when it deflected, and you can't get right post when you're moving left post. And we've got a whistle as soon as the puck was dropped. We'll find out. See,
there it is, another replay. Long wins the faceoff. See, Gross was there. They got it back. It either hit Gross or it hit the back of Jack Kelly.
It might have hit
one or the other.
It hit somebody who didn't really.
It did hit
a defenseman.
Kelly. Yep. Oliver gets an assist. Donovan Wachowski is 6th of the season, is 2nd of the playoffs, and momentum for the Riverhawks, cutting the lead in half at 2-1.
That's huge. That's a huge
I think it hit the back of the leg of Jack Kelly, Mike, and changed directions.
Yeah, it's possible. But it hit someone that.
Because you're right, Gorski was moving left.
Exactly.
Couldn't recover.
It wasn't a deflected on purpose. It hit something and just deflected by accident.
There comes Jack Kelly down the right wing, tries to center it. Second effort, gets it through. Wrist shot, blocker saved by Smouse as he denies Dylan Elliott. Puck to the near side. And Sam Long plays it back to his defense partner, Grafton. Can't get it out.
Ooh.
Sneaky shot.
That just missed the post.
I'm not sure if Smouse ever saw that.
I don't think he did. He reacted late.
Elliott on the right wing. Half board, stumps it behind. Wachowski is checked by Jack Kelly. And that comes up to Nick Long, and it does score it back to center ice. At his own blue line now, Jack Kelly, the senior captain, off the boards. Hunter Emerson puts it behind his back and almost gave it away with that move. Coming down the near side, Jack Kelly with room left side. Wrist shot, good blocker saved by Smouse. Centered, and it goes past Joe Kelly and out of the zone. On the counter comes Jacob Schneider. One-on-one. He tries to pass it to Christian Miller. That was deflected away. Schlosser denied the break. Back in his own blue line, Chris Atherton for the Riverhawks. Near side pass, deflects down. Christian Miller will dump it into the zone. And in his own zone, it's Jack Kelly for the Ramblers. He is checked behind the net by Contrell. Good job on the forecheck by David Contrell. Also looking for the puck is Schneider. Miller is between the circles as we have a scrum in the left corner. Squirts free to Jacob Schlosser, and Jake Schlosser will skate it up and out of the zone for the Ramblers. He'll gain the red line, now gets into the zone, but that's a good call as Hunter Emerson was a stride ahead. Offside is called, 10:34 left in the second period. Erie Cathedral Prep 2, Armstrong run, PIHL Class AA Championship game right here on MSA Sports.
We neglected to mention the third member of our broadcast team, Bob. Jody Zangerli Cook on camera. We appreciate her hard work.
She's the best looking member of the broadcast team.
Is that what you're going to say? Okay, well, I guess you're right.
Running the camera, full day. AAA, Josh and Adam. The two-man advantage. Kenny McMillan and Butler. The nightcap, Sean Myers and Lou Rude on MSA Sports. And that features Mars and Quaker Valley. Into the zone comes Jack Becker. Couldn't quite get it to the net. Behind the net on the forecheck, Joe Sala. Sala plays it around, but created traffic by Nick Long, and that allows Donovan Wachowski a chance to get it back to center ice. Stolen away by Zach Kutch. Taken right back by Jack Becker, and Becker is dumped on a nice check at center ice by Jacob Gross, and that's going to be offside against the Ramblers.
You know, after the goal, right away, Erie Cathedral Prep came down, had a couple of big shots, and Smouse made a couple of big saves, but he also reacted late on a puck that went through the crease. And again, it's good that Armstrong has been able to come back from the early deficit, but you don't want to give up a goal right after you score and then lose your momentum.
Puck played from the red line, just inside the red line. Brett Cox dumps it in. Wachowski around the far side to Josh Oliver's knocked on. Oliver got credit for an assist. Getting out of the zone is Luke Gross. And here comes the attack with Long. And Gross is in. Tries to slot it in front back to his teammate. It was Kobe Toy. And just tick-tack with no toe. There was a chance also, Mike, for Luke Gross to fire that.
Puck was too far out in front of him. Offside's called on Erie Cathedral Prep. It was too far out in front of him. By the time he got it, he was so far in, he only had one move. And Kucharski did a great job of getting over there and covering the net. So his reaction time, again, right on. He knows exactly, it seems to know exactly what his team is going to do. And he's covering all his angles. They can't beat him on regular shots right now. And that's huge because it's going to take deflections. It's going to take a rebound. It's going to take something unusual to beat him. And it already has. Well, only one goal, though.
I'm not sure if that backhander by Gross actually got through, but we know he was trying to go back to Kobe Toy on the 2-on-0. Here's Miller, right side, wrist shot, deflected. Good block by Tanner White. Kept in on a good pinch by the River Hawks. Second opportunity, and they do get it past Sam Long back to the neutral zone. Contrell plays it right back into the Ramblers zone. Played through the neutral zone. Erie Cathedral Prep trying to come in. As up ahead of the play was Ziegler, loses it. David Contrell comes back 2-on-3, slapper. Blocked easily. That hurt.
Oh, yeah.
Tanner White.
Yeah, he's hurting.
Hit him in the right leg. Dumped back in, and White has to play it. Delayed offside against the River Hawks. And they tag up. Ziegler slides it through to no one. Counter-attacking. Christian Miller couldn't take it cleanly as he had some help from Nick Long. And now here comes the counter for ECP. Into the zone is Doran Ocon. He got it in front and had a man, Tragisher. Tragisher had a goal against Bishop Cannon. Miller pokes it up. Miller pushes it up to Nick Long. They're in an on-man break. That pass just too far ahead for Zach Kutch. Behind the net, it is Nick Long. Centers it. Has Grafton. He shot it wide. Still behind the net, Nick Long. Good push by the Riverhawks. Center point, Nate Grafton tees it up. Blocked in front. Christian Miller tracks it down on the left wing half boards. Still with the puck. Walks to the circle. Dumps it down low to Kutch. Sure, that's Long shot. Blocked in front up in the air. Nick Long on the near side. Can he get it? No. It's cleared up to Tragisher and out of the zone. Tragisher gains the red line, dumps it in. That is stopped by Taylor Smouse.
Oh, a good push by Armstrong. They're getting better and better as this game goes along on offense.
Kutch leaves it there. Josh Oliver down the right side. Wrist shot, pad save with the right toe. We're going to get a penalty, an interference call against Erie Cathedral Prep.
Interesting.
Third man advantage.
And Bob, remember,
fourth coming for the Riverhawks.
Remember this at 7:36. This is a huge part of the game, simply because Kucharski's doing everything to stop. He's making brilliant saves. But Armstrong's push is just getting better and better and better. Now they go on the power play. They got a man advantage. They got momentum. They know they can beat him. It's going to be an interesting power play here. They're third of the night. They're 0 for 2.
Interference, the call against Sean O'Geek at 9:24. You mentioned it, third man advantage for the Riverhawks. Erie Cathedral Prep has not given up a power play goal during the playoffs. They are 13 for 13. Riverhawks gain the zone, and then we'll try to set it up at the right point. Gross in front, Contrell. He didn't get everything. It's up in the air. He went after the rebound.
Interesting.
Kuharski was able to get there before Contrell did.
It hit I think it hit the tip of Kucharski's pad as he was down, popped up into the air, and you're right, as they whack at it, he grabs it. That's the thing about rebounds. If it's close and you've got good reactions, you can grab it, but you've got to be conscious of the traffic around you. That puck's going to bounce around, and goaltenders, boy, they got a tough job.
Not sure if Contrell got everything on that first shot, but it did handcuff Kuharski a little bit. Puck is on the right wing half board, sent to the left point. Riverhawks on the man advantage. They'll go to the left circle. Back center point to Luke Gross. Fakes a slapper far side. One-timer by Christian Miller, he missed. Near point, left point, kept in by Luke Gross. Slides it across. Center point, Donovan Wachowski. Skates to the top of the left circle. Gets a return from Zach Miller. Comes near side, right point. Gross, top of the right circle. Puts it in front, deflected by Cottrell. And then trying to get the rebound was Oliver. They can't do it. A slashing penalty coming up against Armstrong. And that'll negate the final minute and 5
Second
of
time.
this man advantage.
Second time for them on that. You know, the thing about Armstrong is they're trying to make the perfect play. They're trying to make the perfect pass. They're trying to set up Miller. They're not shooting up. When they did shoot, what happened? That puck went right for the net, almost deflected off 2 people. There's the replay again. Almost a goal.
It's a good call, too.
You've got to put the puck on net. I know you want to set up the perfect shot, but you're better off just throwing the puck at the net, looking for rebounds.
In front, tight save. Jack Kelly came in along the right goal line. So it'll be 4-on-4. The Ramblers already have a 4-on-4 goal in this game.
That's what I was thinking.
And then it'll be about a 45-second man advantage for Erie Cathedral Prep. They're in the attack now. In the zone to our left. They come in along the near boards, left wing half boards, and coming out of there with it, Eliason fakes a shot. Goes far side, wrist shot. Blocked in front by Donovan. Wachowski clears the zone. And that's going to be icing because it's still 4 side.
Armstrong just moving the puck. Wachowski's moving it, Miller's moving it, but they're waiting. And Erie Cathedral Prep, it was staying in a box and not challenging them, staying in their lanes. There's nowhere to shoot. You've got to move around. You've got to throw it to the net and crash the net. And Armstrong on all 3 of their power plays has done the same thing. And if they don't win this game, they may look back at the man advantages and not taking advantage of getting more shots.
Cottrell dumps it. This may not be long enough for icing. It will not be. Schlosser has to go back in his own zone. It'll be 55 seconds on the power play for Cathedral Prep once Ogika comes out of the box. So it'll be 4 side for another 10. Puck played to the neutral zone. Up in the air, chance for a 2-on-1 with Cottrell and Miller. Miller's in. Miller skates to the left circle trying to get room, and he fires it low. Stick save on the Christian Miller shot. And now the Ramblers are on the man advantage. They change up, but that is denied. Good forecheck by David Cottrell. He's knocked down. Schlosser gets it up ahead to Eliason, who gains the zone. Eliason finds his man. Wrist shot. Good shoulder save by Smouse. That was a good, strong wrist shot from the right circle by Vickery. Vickery had the 2 power play goals against Bishop Canevin.
Great reaction by Smouse to get his shoulder on. Let's go back to the 2-on-1. I don't know what Miller was doing. It was a 2-on-1, and they crossed each other.
Yeah, they were bad spacing.
And if they'd have just spaced out, you got the defenseman, and the defenseman makes a choice. Either I go with the shooter, then there's a guy open. But they screwed that up. Again, as good offensively as Armstrong is, they're making too many mental mistakes.
Half a minute to go on this Rambler power play. Ice cut comes between the second and third periods. Ramblers have possession near point. Jack Kelly goes to the top of the right circle, centering pass, knocked away by Sam Long. Still loose, digging at it was Sal, I believe. Couldn't get it cleanly. Puck comes to the center point, slap shot, Smouse save, and he stretches out and gets the rebound. Denies Jack Becker in front of the net.
We might get a penalty
from Schlosser. And 2 men were tied up. It was Sam Long. Joe Sally. You think coincidentals maybe?
Yeah, I think so, because the referee blew the whistle, pointed to the box.
It wasn't even long, actually. It's going to be Donovan Wachowski.
We're going to get at least
one. He may
be the only one. Yeah.
He may be the only one.
He blew the whistle because
box.
ECP was right by the doorstep, and Wachowski just blasted somebody right in front of the net. 2-handed him, double, just a cross-check, a vicious cross-check.
It's roughing, Mike.
Well, roughing, cross, whatever it is. He crushed the guy, and that is a good call. I mean, you got to call those, so they're going to have
2-man advantage for 12 seconds.
And this is another big part of the game as this game gets along.
Riverhawks win the face-off and clear the zone. That's a good start.
That is big.
So that'll take care of the 5-on-4.
Exactly. We'll be 0-for-2 on the power play now.
And Erie Cathedral Prep winding it up in their own zone. Trevor Faulkner skates through the neutral zone with speed, gains the zone. He's in 3-on-3, stops on the left wing half board. Shifty goes down behind the net, skates all the way around. Checked now by Luke Gross. Erie Cathedral Prep shot blocker to side, cleared. Clearing his front of his own net, cleaning up was Josh Oliver.
It's all about reactions. It's all about another whistle.
And we get a prep penalty.
Interesting.
Tripping.
Interesting. And there goes their power play. Both 0-for-3 now. They only had about
Trevor Faulkner tripping.
24 seconds on the power play. Abbreviated, but it counts as a power play 0-for-3. And now they'll skate 4-on-4 again for 125.
So a geek up for interference at 9:24. And then Oliver for slashing made it 4-on-4. That was at 10:19. Wachowski for roughing at 12:07. Made it 5-on-3 for a brief period. Now Faulkner at 12:42 makes it 4 aside for 1:25. And then Armstrong goes on the man advantage for 35 seconds once this is all sorted out.
Unless another penalty's called, of course.
That's true.
And I think the refs are doing a good job. Everything that's been called has been legitimate. They've let a few things go, but I think this crew's done a good job. 2 refs, 2 linesmen.
Eliason wins the face-off. Richard Vickery in his own zone will get it to the neutral zone. Will gain the red line and dump it in. 4 aside. Faulkner has a 4-on-4 goal for the Ramblers in this game. Riverhawks down 2-1. Trevor Faulkner 2 in the first for the Ramblers. Donovan Wachowski the only goal here in the second for Armstrong. And the Riverhawks try to force their way through center ice. They get Josh Oliver down the right side, 1-on-2. Shot is blocked. Nick Long tries to keep it in. And they'll get it to the far point. Zane Wachowski, shot is blocked. Nick Long skates along the left goal line. Stops behind the net, centering pass. No one home. It does deflect on the goal as cleaning up his own zone was Joe Kelly. And Kuharski holds on for a face-off in the Ramblers zone with 41 seconds to go on the 4-on-4.
You know, Bobby, we're not keeping shot blocks, but I'm going to say they're close to double figures. They've made, at least that I can recall.
They being the Ramblers?
They being the Ramblers. At least 6 to 8, maybe more. They've outblocked a lot of shots, Bob. They've done a great job on defense getting in front of the puck.
Christian Miller, left point to a shot. Good, heavy wrister by Zane Wachowski, deflected wide, and the rebound put through the crease by Gross. Zane Wachowski keeps it alive in this 4-on-4 in 24 seconds. It'll be a power play for Armstrong. Sam Long at the right point, kept it in temporarily. It is in. As Gross skates it down the right side, that is Luke Gross, spins, sets it up in the right circle. Center point, Long, wrist shot, blocked or deflected by Miller, blocked in front by the Ramblers. Slosser will clear it up to Elliott, who gets it out of the zone. Hunter Emerson, shorthanded now. 30 seconds to go on this power play, but Emerson is in the Riverhawk zone, loses it to Christian Miller. Miller's being forechecked by Elliott. He's flat-footed, so now he finally gets up some speed to try to come out of his zone with 20 seconds. Christian Miller still with the puck. Slides it to Josh Oliver down the left wing. He has Nick Long, he's in! Oliver shot that is saved by the left arm of Jacob Kuharski.
Nice move. Better save.
Puck is tied up on the near boards, 3 seconds on the man advantage. Sam Long dumps it behind the net to Josh Oliver. We're 5 aside. Oliver with one hand on the stick, tries to get it to Long. Long is now tied up with Schlosser. Cleared up and cleared out to Faulkner. Faulkner comes back 3-on-2. Faulkner down the left side, puts it to Emerson, shot save, rebound. Slid just wide by the Ramblers. Trevor Faulkner comes to the left point. Schlosser, right side, between the circles on the backhand. Shot blocked in front. Rebound Faulkner, he couldn't put it in. He's looking for the HT. Faulkner centers. No one there but Armstrong. And they clear it up for Nick Long. Long down the right side. Can he get there? He does. Stops on a dime. Spinorama has a trailer. Big blocker save by Kuharski on Miller. Shot by Wachowski. Misses the net.
Poor Kucharski. If he sees it, he's stopping it. They're not beating him, Bob. I mean, 2-on-1, perfect.
Steal and low, backhander, score! Turnover, and Joe Sala on the backhand makes it 3-1 Ramblers.
Armstrong, chance after chance after chance, 2-on-1, they blew it. 2-on-1, they had a great opportunity, but again, Kucharski isn't getting beat, and then they come up ice, they turn the puck over, look out.
Should be an unassisted goal. Sala made the steal, went to the backhander. Smouse got a piece of it, but not enough of it. And for Joe Sala, the junior is 8th of the season. He picks up his 2nd point of the playoffs.
Yeah.
And a huge goal late. It comes at 15:38 of the 2nd period.
Nathan Grafton had that puck in the corner. He gave it up. We got a penalty. Or offsides, sorry.
Somehow Faulkner gets an assist on that.
I don't know. That's weird. Unless they're saying that Grafton didn't touch the puck in the corner, or unless they're saying he didn't have control of it. But he went to the corner. He had it. He kicked it out, and it went right to Sala.
They gave Kelly an assist. We'll have to check to see if it was Jack or Joe. It was an offside call, not a penalty.
Yeah, you're right.
So the Riverhawks have made it 2-1, 4:37 into this second period, but no Joe Sala with his 8th of the season. Puts Erie Cathedral Prep back up by 2 with 1:08 as that puck is played into the benches on the far side.
Well, that's a huge goal. Huge goal. They just came down on a 2-on-1. Miller with a shot. Kucharski with the better save. Again, they've had a couple of good, nice plays, but better saves by Kucharski, and they come right down and score again. That's a tough goal to take right there.
Ramblers in their own zone with under a minute to go in the second period. Puck is back in the neutral zone. Here's Sala again on the forecheck. He's all over the backside of Zane Wachowski. Zane plays it around far side to Jack Kelly in his own zone for the Ramblers to center ice. Deflected, knocked down Jack Becker. He's tripped, and that's going to be another penalty against the Riverhawks. That was a pretty obvious tripping call.
Oh, yeah. I have no qualms with anything the refs have done. Blatant trip at the blue line. You know, I did some talking to a PIHL or WPIHL, whatever, referee for basketball, and he told me that when their crews get together, he said the one thing they always talk about is calling things that are definitely going to impede the progress. And you don't want to be a part of the action, but you got to call the important ones. And
the Ramblers are on their fourth man advantage. They're over 3. Slid it wide. Jake Schlosser has it. Right point. Right wing half points to Faulkner, who has 3 points. Down low to Vickery. Back to Trevor Faulkner. Center point now. Schlosser. Right circle. Faulkner. Near side, he tried to give and go. That misfired. But on the puck is Jack Kelly. Dumps it down low. Riverhawks, can they clear it out with 19 seconds to go in the period? They can't get it out, but there's a hand pass off the glove of Kelly.
Armstrong has to get out of this period down only 3-1. They can't give up that goal now. And, of course, if they get out of the period, then they're going to have about a minute and 15 to kill. And they've got to kill this penalty. They cannot go down 4-1. They're in a little bit of trouble now, but cannot give up a power play.
Heavy slapper taken by Ben Eliason, stopped by Smouse, and coming after the rebound was Vickery, so Smouse holds on. And still 10.8 to go in the second period. 1:27 on the man advantage. If the Ramblers do not score late, they'll get a fresh sheet of ice in a minute 17 to start period number 3 of power play time. Face off to the left of Smouse. Controlled by the Ramblers. They slid it in, not a heavy shot, but it was put on by Joe Kelly. It does create trouble down low. Smouse covers up, and again a face-off to his left with 6.7 remaining.
It's all about who can beat who to the puck. That time Smouse covered up before player could get his stick on it.
Vickery wins the draw. Slap shot is blocked. Rebound is blocked. Now it's cleared up and out by Josh Oliver, and that'll do it for the second period. 2 frames are in the books. And after 34 minutes, the PIHL Class AA championship game from the CONSOL Energy Center, Erie Cathedral Prep 3, the Armstrong Riverhawks 1. We'll be back with the Blade Runners between period scoring summary right after this as you are listening and watching the 2015 PIHL Penguins Cup Championships, sponsored by Trib Total Media, only here on the MSA Sports Network.
UPMC Sports Medicine is the region's largest and most experienced center dedicated to caring for athletes of all levels. And as we celebrate more than 25 years of world-class care, we're proud to offer more services, have more physicians, and treat more student athletes than any other sports medicine provider in the region. Why would you choose to go anywhere else? To learn more, call 1-855-93-SPORT or visit upmcsportsmedicine.com.
Own your piece of hockey history with a Penguins game used jersey. Visit J&J Distributing at www.jjdistributing.biz and check out one of their largest selections of Penguins game-worn jerseys from your favorite Pens, past and present. Or call 724-752-1556. J&J Distributing buys, sells, and trades some of hockey's most prized possessions, including the Penguins game-worn jerseys, Penguins practice jerseys, minor league jerseys, and new and game-used equipment. Browse their inventory today at www.jjdistributing.biz. When looking to replace your athletic field, choose ProGrass, First in Turf. ProGrass has installed over 500 fields in the U.S. Getting the best artificial turf for your field depends on both the product and the partner you choose. That's why architects, athletic directors, and players choose the ProGrass Performance System. ProGrass maintains an active presence in the synthetic turf industry as members of the Sports Turf Management Association and the American Sports Builder Association, and is proud to be recognized as the FIFA preferred manufacturer. 003 or visit them on the web at www.progressturf.com. ProGrass, first in turf. The team at S-Mark takes great pride in the company they've built and their growing presence in Pittsburgh. Strong values, steadfast dedication, and unwavering commitment extends well beyond the walls of S-Mark facilities into virtually every facet of our local communities. From ongoing support for critical health and human services for families and children to youth sports and recreation programs. It's the many faces of S-Mark that touch lives, instill hope, and provide opportunities to enhance and enrich the world around us. S-Mark is proud to extend its support of local communities through its sports sponsorship with the MSA Sports Network.
Hi, this is former St. LaSalle, Mount Pleasant Trinity basketball coach Joe Dunn, here to tell you that I'll be joining Dawn Rebel and Johnny Lee on the WPIHL Roundball Report, Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. here on the MSA Sports Network. There we go.
Coach, this is a 30-second commercial.
What? Whose call was that? That's a terrible call. I mean, I just sat down here. I'm all, this is the kind of stuff that happens to me.
We have another ex-coach.
It's just one of those things.
Join us for the WPIHL Roundball Report, Wednesday nights at 6 o'clock here on the MSA Sports Network.
You're killing me.
Back at the CONSOL Energy Center with Mike Azadian and Bob Orkwis on MSA Sports. 2 periods are in the books of the PIHL AA Championship game. The Erie Cathedral Prep Ramblers, the number 1 seed, lead Armstrong by a score of 3-1. It was 2-0. Erie Cathedral Prep on a pair of Trevor Faulkner goals, and we'll get to the Blade Runner scoring summary in a second. After 1, Armstrong got a goal from Donovan Wachowski, Mike, to make it 2-1, but then a big goal late on a turnover for Joe Sala to restore the 2-goal advantage for the Ramblers.
And that's big. And they have the power play coming into the third period as well. And, it's been a game of runs almost if you want to compare it to basketball. Erie Cathedral Prep played very well in the first 5-6 minutes. They got those 2 goals. And then after that initial punch in the mouth, Armstrong started coming back. Armstrong played better. Armstrong started coming on strong, getting shots, putting pucks on net, testing Jacob Kuharski. And they finally beat him on a deflection, and they were playing well. They had a couple of 2-on-1s, had an excellent chance. Christian Miller couldn't beat Kuharski. And then, as you said, the turnover to make it 3-1. That could end up being the big portion of the game. But it's been a fairly even game, but I just think that Armstrong hasn't taken advantage of their opportunities, haven't taken advantage of getting enough shots on the power play. And Erie Cathedral Prep, they've been in the right place at the right time. They're beating, they won the battles of the pucks in front of the net, and they scored those couple of goals to go up 2-0. And that's it sometimes, Rob. That's all you have to do in an even game is be the guy that beats the guy to the puck that one time where you score, and that's why they're up 3-1.
Here is your Blade Runners scoring summary between periods. Check out Blade Runners. 2 locations in Warrendale and Harmerville. 2 goals in the first, both by Trevor Faulkner for Erie Cathedral Prep. 3:44 in. He picked up a rebound of a Ben Eliason shot, his 18th of the year. Made it 1-0, and then at 7:10, Trevor Faulkner got his second on a wrist shot. Eliason and Mitch Slupowski got the assists on a 4-on-4 goal, and it was 2-0 after the first period. Donovan Wachowski got the Armstrong goal, his 6th of the year. At 4:37 of period number 2, Josh Oliver got the only assist. Wachowski fired from the center point and hit a leg in front and deflected past Jacob Kuharski. And it was 2-1. The Ramblers still in front, but then Erie Cathedral Prep, as we just talked about, restored the 3-goal lead on a Joe Sala goal, his 8th of the season. Assist to Trevor Faulkner and Jack Kelly at 15:38. 3-1 Ramblers after 2. Shots on goal in the second period, 12 for Erie Cathedral Prep, 7 for Armstrong. 2 period totals are 21-20 for Erie Cathedral Prep. So far, Armstrong 0 for 4 with a man advantage. Erie Cathedral Prep is 0 for 3, but they will have a minute and 17 of power play time to start period number 3. And again, that is your Blade Runners between period scoring summary.
Interesting that Armstrong outshot them 13-9 in the first, despite getting outshot early in the game. Came back, really started to dominate the game, but couldn't score. Big difference in this game. Jacob Kucharski's made at least 4 or 5 huge saves to keep his team ahead. And then Erie Cathedral Prep, after being down in shots, I believe it was like 19-15 at one point, now leads 21-20. They came on at the end of the second period. 2 evenly matched teams, 2 of the highest scoring teams in AA, and you can see why. Also, when you talk about all the high scoring, which we did in the pregame, one thing we didn't talk enough about was the defense. And boy, Erie Cathedral Prep's defense, block after block after block. It seems like almost every time down the ice, Bobby, they're getting blocked. They're getting guys in front of pucks. They're getting guys limping off the ice. And sometime that one block is the one that you may save going in. A save from being a rebound. Shot blocking is a big part of the game.
I think defense at this time of the year, I don't want to say it's overlooked, but
no.
You need to have that balance.
Yeah.
And the teams will normally or usually are able to strike a balance at this time of the year. And you've been impressed. I know you talked about it in the second period of the shot blocking ability for the Ramblers, and also getting back in their own zone to clean up, or their forwards. And that's been a big key. Their special teams were big in the win over Bishop Canevin, and the Ramblers have been big here so far, although they failed on their power play chances, with the exception of the one that is remaining. But those are important facts as well,
exactly,
as you chase a championship.
And a lot of people don't realize on defense, a lot of guys, and you'll see throughout the year, you'll whack at the puck, you'll whack it off the boards, it'll go right to a forward, they'll throw it back on net, and then there's a goal. On defense, it's that patience of just taking your time, waiting that extra second, even though you got guys bearing down on you, and finding the open man, whether you bounce it off the boards or you go up the middle with it or you skate a little bit and find the guy. Those are so much the important parts of the game, because that way you're not turning the puck over. You get it to center ice, and then your forwards take over. If your defense can do that, that makes the forwards' job so much easier. When you're panicking and you're just getting rid of the puck and you're throwing it to anybody, the puck just continually gets turned over. And that's one thing Erie Cathedral Prep has done well. When they get it to the neutral zone, they've been able to then get it inside Armstrong territory. And on defense, a lot of people don't realize it's more than just blocking shots and taking guys to the corner. It's getting the puck out of your zone without a panic situation.
After this game, Mike and I will choose the Mount Lebanon Ice Arena play of the game. Mount Lebanon Ice Arena, the place to be for teens in the South Hills on Friday nights. We'll also have the Management Science Associates 3 stars of the game, a couple of early candidates for that.
Yeah.
The story really of this game has yet to be written. Maybe could end up 3-1, but there's an early chance. And I think for Armstrong, as you mentioned it, Mike, you said number one, they would need to get out of the second period down by 2, 3-1. Check on that. They need to really call off this penalty to start the third period.
Yeah, I mean, they're a good team, but I just don't know if a team like, I mean, Armstrong's a good enough team, but I don't know if they're going to be able to, if they go down 4-0, that they're going to go and be able to score 3 goals and tie, and then a fourth to come back on Erie Cathedral Prep, a team that gave up the least amount of goals in AA.
And a team that has a freshman goaltender, although we talked about Jacob Karski, Mike, just being a freshman in class only at this time of the year, who's been really sharp today.
Yeah, he's seen everything. The only one he was beat on was a puck that was deflected. I mean, his reactions are there. His positioning is tremendous. Really only 1 fumbled puck. He's covered up very well. He's not giving up big rebounds. So if Armstrong would give up a goal and go down 4-1, I don't see them beating him 4 times to win this game, unless he completely struggles in the third period. But he's given no indication of that, Bobby, and that's the big thing. So you mentioned early candidates for 3 stars. You know, Faulkner with 2 goals, Kucharski with only giving up 1. Those are 2 guys right there. Don't know if they'll make it or not. Just a couple other guys could star from here. But you're all right. Armstrong has got to get out of the beginning of this period. They've got to kill that penalty. And then on offense, they've just got to put pucks to the net. They've got to charge the net, and they've got to just keep firing pucks at Kucharski, because just individual shots from 20 feet out, he's seeing. They can't beat him. They got to hope for a rebound, charge the net. They got to do something different than they're doing if they want to try to come back.
The winner of the Penguins Cup, the AA Penguins Cup, will head to the Pennsylvania Cup. They'll face the winner of the Flyers Cup. Downingtown East defeated North Penn yesterday 4-1. They have 14-7 on the season. But as we mentioned a little bit earlier, they had to win a play-in game to get in. 4 straight upsets. That's their second Flyers Cup. They had won one in 2010. And that's a team, maybe the Glass Slipper.
Team of Destiny. I love seeing stories like that because now whoever wins this game, you don't know how to take that team. Boy, that team's on a roll. Well, that team all of a sudden
I think you focus more the team that won 4 or 5 straight in the Flyers Cup than anything that happened during the regular season.
Exactly.
Would you not?
Oh, I would, exactly. But, I mean, sometimes you look at that team, does the Glass Slipper fall off in the championship game?
That's true.
One thing I like about it, we used to alternate between, it was the Civic Arena and then one of the barns out east, and then it became the CONSOL Energy Center a couple of times and one of the barns out east. And now we've even had it in Johnstown a couple of times. We did last year. They went to the Pagula Ice Center. What a fantastic place. They're going to have it there again. Unfortunately, Bobby, I'm not going to be able to make it. I know you're sad because
I am.
Who's
going to ride with me now?
Yeah, exactly. Are you definitely going to go? You don't know.
If needed.
If needed. But, yeah, they're still trying to work it out. Hopefully we're going to cover that. But that was a great experience. The people out there treated us great, by the way, and love when you go to places and they invite you into their place.
First of all,
the
arena, it's perfectly sized, and it's beautiful, brand new, 2 years, maybe 3 years old, Mike. And geographically, it makes more sense.
It makes more sense. And the thing is, too, is they invited us. And they were inviting. Everybody was so good to us. It was a great experience. And you can't say that in a lot of places. That's why I liked having them where we did. And it's not a bad drive. Winter's pretty much over, unless you get a late storm.
Let's hope. It could happen, but let's hope not. And again, after 2 in this one, Erie Cathedral Prep leads Armstrong by a score of 3-1. We're going to take a break and come back to get you ready for the start of the third period as you are listening and watching the 2015 PIHL Penguins Cup Championships. They're sponsored by Trib Total Media, and they're right here on the MSA Sports Network.
The history books are filled with the names of great athletes and great teams from Western Pennsylvania. They share stories of great victories and stunning defeats, but they all have one thing in common. They know the championship season is the time to be first. First Commonwealth Bank, proud sponsor of the WPIHL and the best high school athletes in Western Pennsylvania. First Commonwealth, time to be first.
What you want? What you want? What you want is to stay warm this winter by logging on to www.msasports.net each and every day. We have all the schedules, the scores, the rankings, and the standings of the high school winter sports, plus weekly shows like Inside the WPIHL Wrestling Circle, the PIHL Power Play Show, and the WPIHL Roundball Report, along with live and archive broadcasts of whatever your favorite high school sport is. Anytime, anywhere, always there, every day this winter. It's the MSA Sports Network.
UPMC Sports Medicine is the region's largest and most experienced center dedicated to caring for athletes of all levels. And as we celebrate more than 25 years of world-class care, we're proud to offer more services, have more physicians, and treat more student athletes than any other sports medicine provider in the region. Why would you choose to go anywhere else? To learn more, call 1-855-93-SPORT or visit upmcsportsmedicine.com.
Attention all teenagers in the South Hills. If you need something to do on a Friday night, look no further than the TGIF skate at the Mount Lebanon Ice Arena. Featuring a live DJ, big screen TV, special effects lighting, and games from 8 to 11, it's the place to be this winter. Mount Lebanon Ice Arena also offers an after-school skate for younger children, Fridays from 4:30 to 6 p.m., and a full range of instructional programs for all ages. For more information, call 412-561-4363 or visit mountlebanon.org.
The new home for the PIHL in 2014-2015 is the MSA Sports Network. Not only can you listen to audio broadcasts of high school hockey games online like in years past, but this year MSA Sports will be video streaming 25 games live and archived during the regular season with exclusive coverage of the 2015 Penguin Cup playoffs. Your audio and video home of the PIHL is the MSA Sports Network.
Life is about having the confidence to know you can do anything right. I get that at Carlo.
I graduated with top awards, but beyond the classroom, Carlo helped me learn a lot about myself.
Carlo brings out the best in you.
I know I'm going to be a fantastic nurse.
I know whatever I come across, I'll be prepared.
I can't think of a better place to start the rest of my life, because at Carlo, I know I matter.
I matter.
I matter.
Enroll at Carlo University. Visit carlo.edu.
Welcome back to the CONSOL Energy Center as we get set for the third period. After 2, it's Erie Cathedral Prep. 3, the Armstrong Riverhawks 1, alongside Mike Azadian and Bob Orkwis here in the MSA Sports Network.
You know, what we'd love to do is thank all of our sponsors, but especially S-Mark, a big hockey supporter, and been on the network now for a year, and big supporter of baseball and hockey, football, all of the sports, but I want to thank them for their support.
Don't forget, after this game, we'll give you the Blade Runners post-game scoring summary of the Mount Lebanon Ice Arena play of the game, and we'll choose the Management Science Associates 3 stars of the game. You can listen or watch live or archived. If you're doing either one, we appreciate that. You can always go back and check out the video archives. There'll be a game recap, pictures, a couple center stages with a couple of the winning players after all these championships here.
Pictures taken by other guys, part of our crew. Mark Shaw's going to do the pictures. Don Rebel going to do the article. And, of course, tweeting and all the fun activities.
Josh Roundtree, he wants to come in and start the second game right now.
The second game. He's up for quickly. Big keys now going into the third period. Armstrong has to kill the Cathedral Prep penalty. If they don't, and it's 4-1, they don't have it up on the board, which is kind of surprising, but they will eventually.
It should be a minute 17 or a minute 16
right.
if you shave off that 10th of a second.
They've got to kill that. If they don't, it's 4-1. That coffin door is gone, but almost closed. Once they do kill the penalty, if they do, as they put it back on the board, if they do kill the penalty, they've got to get their offense going. They've got to throw pucks to the net. You don't got time to make perfect plays. Throw pucks to the net and charge the goaltender.
If you're Erie Cathedral Prep, you don't need to change much. You'd love to get a power play goal. But slice the period up for Armstrong time-wise. Obviously, number one, you want to kill this penalty. Then slice it up time-wise after there for the Riverhawks. The earlier you score, the better. But
we're told since that last title in 1997 by Cathedral Prep, players coming onto the ice were screaming 18 years as a motivation. Here at Cathedral Prep, it's been 18 years since they've won a title.
Armstrong shorthanded in their own zone, and the Ramblers in the white, orange, and black, moving from left to right across your computer keyboard if you're listening. If you're viewing, you can see that. And the blue and orange, shorthanded, almost the centering pass for Christian Miller. And again, he is chomping at the bit to try to find the net. 45 seconds to go on the Ramblers man advantage. Richard Vickery comes down the right wing side, stops in the right corner. Tries to find Trevor Faulkner, and he does. Back to Vickery. Slides it around to the left wing corner for Ben Eliason. Eliason loses the puck. Riverhawks clear it back to the Ramblers zone with 28 seconds to go on this power play. Quick stretch pass. Finds Ben Eliason, drops to Faulkner. Back for Eliason. Tries to center for Vickery, couldn't do it. Sliding play made by Sam Long. Schlosser near side, Jack Kelly. Slap early, had room, but he missed the far post. It goes down the length of the ice.
That far post by inches, Bob. It just missed.
There was daylight there too, Mike. So 4 seconds to go, and the Riverhawks kill it off. Good forecheck at the end by Jacob Schneider, who scored the game winner and goal in overtime against Shaler. He's the hero for the Riverhawks in the semifinals. So it remains 3-1. A minute and a half into this third period. Joe Kelly, cross ice pass, finds Hunter Emerson. Down the left wing, wrist shot, blocked. Good block again by Sam Long. Ramblers have the puck. They'll dump it in behind for Dylan Elliott. Elliott finds Joe Kelly. His centering pass is stolen. Koch outlets. Now he goes after his own passes. It was behind Snyder. But he'll get beaten to the puck by Jack Kelly. Boys, he's steady. He is just so positionally solid, the senior captain, Jack Kelly. And multi-talented, too. He's good at both ends of the ice, even though he plays primarily as a defenseman. And that shot is blocked. Comes back to Emerson. Wrist shot. Good blocker saved by Smouse. Played up by Donovan Wachowski, but not out. Comes back to the net. Stick to the near side by Taylor Smouse. And it's cleared out. Not going to be icing. So Tanner White goes into his own zone. He takes a check from Nick Long. Played behind the net by Brett Cox. Cox on the near side. Finds his teammate Dylan Elliott. Can't clear the zone. Miller dumps it right back in. Good forecheck by the Riverhawks. Cox to Emerson, who does get it back to center ice. Joe Sala, who has a goal, is tied up, and the puck played off of Luke Gross and hits up into the Armstrong bench. We played 2:42 in period number 3. It remains 3-1 Ramblers.
Well, I tell you what, Armstrong came out forechecking hard, really did well in killing that penalty. They're sending 2 guys in the forecheck. They're working hard, a lot of energy, and they're going to need that if they want to try to come back in this game.
Riverhawks win the faceoff, and Josh Oliver stick handles his way in. Can't beat Mitch Slubowski, who clears it up. And the Ramblers will get it to the blue line and back to center ice. Jack Zafaris dumps it to the Riverhawks blue line. Donovan Wachowski's pass was intercepted by Sala. Zafaris will dump it in. Smouse will stick it to the near corner. Played there by Nate Grafton. He spins on the forecheck. And now the Riverhawks will work it out. Josh Oliver skates it to the neutral zone. Stolen by Sala. We're going to get a penalty. As Oliver was knocked down. I think it's going to go against Erie Cathedral Preps. Jack Zafaris.
Another opportunity, Bobby. And I don't want to say they have to score on this power play, but
sure, it would be nice though, wouldn't it?
It's going to be that, almost as close to that. I mean, Erie Cathedral Prep, we talked about their shot blocking, their outbreak on defense, how calm they are, solid in goal when they do make mistakes on defense, or Armstrong has come on strong. But 0 for 4 on the penalty on the power play is Armstrong, and they're going to look back at that. They've got to score on the power play if they want to win.
Jack Zaffers 2 for holding at 3:17. Here comes Armstrong into the zone. Centering pass for Cottrell. He got it back, and he slid it wide of the near post. David Contrell skates to the right wing corner. Leaves it for Miller, gets it back. Also in on the play is Luke Gross. Christian Miller. Now Josh Oliver walks off the boards. Far side to Donovan Wachowski. Tries to find Miller. Just too many bodies in front. Deflects away. Comes back to Luke Gross. Slap shot. Deflects high and over top the cage. Picked up off the boards by Jake Schlosser, but he can't. Yes, he does clear the zone. He got it past Donovan Wachowski.
They are taking shots. They're throwing pucks at the net.
Gross enters, drops it to Christian Miller. Top of the circle, slap shot blocked. They can't get the rebound. Good stick work by Emerson. Gross fakes. Near side Miller, one-timer. Angle from left to right, he missed. And the carom goes all the way back into the Armstrong zone with 55 seconds to go on the Riverhawks power play. Riverhawks can't get in. Stole away. Vickery comes back shorthanded. Wristed, saves Smouse. Good job to come off the bench, and now Vickery plays it to the net, and Smouse grabs it. One of the defensemen came off the bench, or maybe it was Luke Gross who cut down the angle on Richard Vickery coming on the right side shorthanded.
I'll tell you one thing. Somebody on that bench talked to those kids and said, look, when you're on the power play, if you get another chance, throw pucks at the net. Shoot the puck. We're 0 for 4 on the power play. If we get another chance, the only way we're going to score is to shoot the puck, and they've been shooting at every opportunity.
It was Nick Long who came off the bench to make the defensive play. So 33 seconds to go. Last chance, and here comes Nick Long. Where the Riverhawks gets into the zone, centers it. The only man there, Dylan Elliott, clears the zone for the Ramblers. Nate Grafton, Nick Long, and now it's Jacob Gross. Far side trying to get down the far wing is Jacob Schneider. Schneider has it in the right wing corner, centers it. Shot, save, Kuharski, rebound. Grafton tries to backhand it. Picked up by Jack Kelly. Kelly will skate it up. Down the right wing, shorthanded. Kills off the remainder of the penalty. Zaffers is on with 5 aside. Here come the Riverhawks. Jacob Gross, long wrist shot, sticked away by Jacob Kuharski. Zach Koch on the right wing half boards. Puts it to Zane Wachowski. And now it's played by Vickery out of the zone. Delayed offside coming up against the Riverhawks. They tag up. That gives Schlosser a chance to get out of his own zone. He dumps it behind the net. Back to play it there is Steven Ziegler went after it. But it's played by Zach Koch. But he loses it to Trageser. Trageser dumps it back in. Luke Gross up the far boards. Through center ice, here come the Riverhawks. Pass near side, left wing to Christian Miller. Skates around a check, dumps it into the corner. Beaten to the puck, though, by Ziegler. Played behind the net, the Riverhawks Contrill had it, can't center it. Now busting his way in is Josh Oliver. Now Contrill again on the forecheck. Trageser in his own zone. Miller has it now. Near side pass to Zane Wachowski. Wristed, blocked down. It was good deflection in front. But a right pad save as dragging the pad was Jacob Kuharski. And now a counter the other way comes Steven Ziegler. Gets in, good job by Luke Gross to just knock that puck off his stick as he had a step on both defenders. Contrill can't clear. It's in front, Ziegler. Backhander saves Mouse. And the rebound lays on the near side, and it's cleared away by the Riverhawks.
Well, I tell you, the last time these two teams played, it was 5-3, but boy, Erie Cathedral Prep was really clamped down defensively.
And shot, save, blocker to side on the wrister by Ocon. Smouse makes his 24th save of the game. Miller leaves it at center ice. It's Donovan Wachowski. Has support, tries to put it in front, no one home. Support was on the right wing the past game. Near side of Christian Miller. Off the bench, Sam Long through traffic. Blocked away in front. Behind the net, Zach Schneider, Jacob Schneider. Schneider on the left wing half boards. Dumps it in to Nick Long. Long is tied up, has his pocket picked, and the Ramblers will clear the zone. Good job on the defensive end by Trevor Faulkner for the Ramblers, who has 2 goals in this game. It's dumped all the way back into the Armstrong zone. The Riverhawks will come up the near side. Faulkner denies that pass temporarily, but it does find its way into the neutral zone. And now the counter for Faulkner. It's too far for him, and it's going to be icing against ECP with 9:19 remaining in the third period. Ramblers 3, Riverhawks 1.
Yeah, 7 minutes and 41 seconds, and Armstrong's really pushing, really working hard, really checking hard, really having some control in the offensive zone, but Prep just getting that puck out of the zone, a couple of rushes. Well, if they score a 4th goal, look out. But I think in the next 5 minutes, if Armstrong can score to make it 3-2, then that last 5 minutes should be very interesting. But they got to get a goal in the next 3 or 4 minutes, because getting 2 in the last couple of minutes is going to be awful hard.
Face off to the right of Kuharski after the icing as both teams changed up personnel. Josh Oliver down low behind the net. Skates around to the left side, falls down, still on the puck, puts it behind to Jacob Gross. Gross centers, hits the skate of Christian Miller, and goes the other way. And back into their own zone to chase it down as Luke Gross.
Armstrong's had some bad luck, too. Just little bounces that have gone against them a couple of times. That one shot that deflected that just hit the skate of Kucharski. There's a couple of little things go the other way. This game's a lot closer.
Clearing pass, and Schloss intercepted. His long slap shot missed the net. Faulkner on the right wing keeps it in. Played around to the far side by Christian Miller to Jacob Gross. Jacob Gross gets it out of the zone. The Ramblers fans across the way. It's filled up a little bit.
Yeah,
Erie Cathedral Prep. Back off the backboards, and on the forecheck, Nick Long steals on the attack for Armstrong. Nick Long tied up in the right corner. Has his pocket picked by Joe Kelly, who clears the zone. They're having exchange lines on the back
fun,
end.
aren't they? The Erie Cathedral Prep fans having a lot of fun.
That goes along with a lead, which is 3-1 Ramblers. Slap shot is blocked. Hits the glass. Sam Long, checked by Hunter Emerson. Played behind the net by Armstrong in their own zone. As we're under 8 minutes to go. Almost halfway through this period. That's going to be an offside call, and it is.
Way offside.
Step ahead with Zach Koch. Well, maybe more like 3 steps.
Yeah, and you know what? The thing I like about this third period, Prep has not panicked because Armstrong's push. Armstrong's not panicking, trying anything fancy, too many defensemen rushing, anything like that. They're just working hard, playing hard, and 7:55 to go, third period. You can't wait a long time when you're down a couple of goals, because that third period goes quick, Bob.
Stick handling through traffic, Joe Kelly takes a long wrister. That is smothered by Taylor Smouse, and he just holds on. No rebound, as bearing down on top of him was Dylan Elliott. So a face-off coming up to the left of Taylor Smouse at the near dot in the Armstrong zone.
When Armstrong beat them in the regular season, it was their first loss of the season, and immediately Prep
lost to
followed
Hampton.
that up by Hampton, lost to Hampton 5-1. So
haven't lost since.
Have not lost since. Gave up 10 goals in 2 games, and since that time, they didn't give up much. They really cracked down after the holidays.
13 straight wins for the Erie Cathedral Prep Ramblers. On the other side, Armstrong is 11-1-1 in their last 13 games.
That's what usually happens. The best couple of teams playing the best at the end of the season make it.
Yeah, well, the hottest teams.
Well, that's a good point.
as well. But it's you always, the cliche, Mike, is it's a marathon and not a sprint. And
you lose a couple early, you play bad early, get a couple injuries early, don't panic.
Yep, you make some changes and you gear up for this time of the year.
That's why a 13 seed makes it to the state playoffs.
And yeah, make it to the championship. You're right. The Downingtown East Cougars. Under 7 to go. It's still 3-1 Erie Cathedral Prep. Puck is slid back into the Armstrong zone. Nate Grafton will give chase in the near corner. Faulkner's on him. Armstrong plays it up and not out. Now they get a second chance, and they have an odd man break if they hurry, but it's going to be 3-on-3. It's coming down the near side is Koch, and it's defended nicely. Good defensive play by Brett Cox. He had some help by Ben Eliason in his own zone. Here comes another attack. Slapper by Long. Heavy slap shot. Blocked by Tanner White.
Blocked again.
He's off though.
They had an odd man break too. They had a 4-on-3. They
White
couldn't take advantage of it.
He took that right on the left knee.
Couldn't take advantage of it.
Puck is cleared up, but not through center ice. Played right back in. Luke Gross sends it down the near side for the Riverhawks. 6:10 to go, third period. Armstrong down a pair. On the near side, trying to dump it in is Joe Sala. Sala gets a second effort. Skates it, or sends it down, and wasn't able to be played by Becker. So it's icing against the Ramblers with 6 minutes even remaining in period number 3.
Boy, 11 minutes has gone fast. Only a couple of whistles. Armstrong's pushed, but Prep, good defense. They've got the puck to center ice. They've had a couple of breaks, got a couple shots, still out shooting them. In fact, now out shooting them 7-2. So Armstrong, with all that push, still only got a couple shots. Another block shot.
That's giving up the body. Face-off win. Jack Becker blocks the slapper from Wachowski.
Boy, the blocking is just tremendous. That is huge.
Donovan Wachowski fans on a pass, so dumps it down the right wing, and in his own zone, Jake Schlosser has it. He's double teamed. That's a steal. In front, Miller shoots and scores! Jacob Gross found Christian Miller after the turnover. Stop the presses. Don't print it just yet. It's 3-2.
You know, they took the man out in the corner, and I thought maybe interfered with him afterwards. As we watched the replay, in the corner, they take the man out. He gives the puck up. They pass to Miller, wide open. There's nothing that Kucharski could have done about that. Good pass. I'm not sure who got the assist on that, but tremendous defense.
Jacob Gross with the centering pass.
Tremendous defense to take the man out. 3-2. They've done what I said they were going to do. They scored in the next 5 minutes. Now the last 5.5 should be interesting.
Miller got the pass and took his time, too. Gross gets the only assist. Christian Miller finally does get goal number 40 after having 52 last year. And here comes Armstrong with the momentum. It's Miller in. Skates loud in front. Oh, it's just deflected wide. Gross almost tied it up. Wachowski slides over to the right point. Keeps it alive to Miller. Near side pass intercepted. Good read by Kelly. Intercepted the pass for Nick Long. Jack Kelly comes down the right side. Makes a move, trying to get in. Puts a shot up, and it was knocked down by Smouse up in the air. Played away by the Riverhawks. And there comes the counter for Armstrong. Odd man 3-on-2. Schneider in, wrist shot, save Kuharski. And he covers up on the rebound.
And look at the jump and the step of the Armstrong Riverhawks, Bobby. Boy, they came out of that zone so fast. Next thing you know, it's a 3-on-2, and the Ramblers got all they can handle now. A little mistake in the corner, a turnover, a nice pass to the one man in front, Gross to Miller. It's 3-2, and all of a sudden, Armstrong is firing on all cylinders now. And boy, Kuharski's got to be at his best now to hold him off.
Long and Emerson face off on the near dot to the right of Jacob Kuharski. Koch is in the circle a little too early.
Who got the second assist on that goal?
No second assist.
I thought that.
Just Jacob Gross, the only helper.
Huh. Interesting.
Ramblers win. Right. Ramblers clear. I want to say Josh Oliver was also on the forecheck in that corner.
Yeah, it came off. It must have came off the defenseman's stick then.
Armstrong dumps it right back in. Played off the blocker of Kuharski. Centering pass, Oliver. Koch. That shot was partially deflected. Schneider, by the way, took that shot, not Koch. And Kuharski taking no chances, covered up as Nick Long was sniffing around for the loose puck in front.
And to beat him, we've had a deflection. To beat him, a turnover in the corner, a pass. So, in effect, it was a 2-on-none. a pass to another guy who was wide open in front, the top scorer in the league, who just goes and puts it right by him one-on-one in front, makes a great move. You can't blame Kuharski for either of the goals.
Another face-off win for the Riverhawks, falling down, but dumping it behind is Josh Oliver. They try to center it to Miller. They can't get there. Oliver on the near wing boards, puts it into the left corner to Contrail. Contrail on the forecheck, giving all kind of trouble to Brett Cox, but Cox works it to Elliott, who clears the zone for the Ramblers. Puck comes to Emerson, who's into the zone. Heavy slapper. Good save by Smouse, and that rebound hit Sam Long, and Smouse kept it out of there as well with the left toe. Steal and a counter. There comes Armstrong to the neutral zone with speed. Donovan Wachowski can't get in to the zone. Mitch Lubowski had his skate in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, like 5 guys converged in the middle of the ice. Not a great break.
You're right, it went to the traffic area instead of the open lane. Armstrong will dump it back in. They'll look for a line change, and they'll get one with 3.5 to go. Erie Cathedral Prep 3, Armstrong 2. Centering pass comes right on the stick of Nick Long. Long gets it out to Zach Kutch. Blows a tire at center ice. Can't get the puck into the Ramblers zone. In front of his own bench, Zane Wachowski knocks it down, fires it near side. Jacob Schneider dumps it in. Gives chase for the Riverhawks. Takes a check from Zach Kelly. Kutch is also in the forecheck. He has it. Tries to make a play around Faulkner. He couldn't do it. He had a man coming late. That was Christian Miller. Pass near side to Ben Eliason. Tries to dump it in. Can't do it. He can't beat Jacob Luke Gross. Luke Gross comes down the right side. Gains the zone. Pass across. Trying to stick handle in. Cleared away by Joe Kelly.
Boy, you got to take that shot when you got a chance, Bobby. Three guys up front in the slot, just above the circle, and they're passing, and they just got to get rid of it.
A chance to crash the net for the rebound.
And the thing is when you have to accept the puck, settle it down, and shoot, a guy that's as good as Kuharski, he's already over there covering the shot. You get that puck on your stick, you got to get rid of it and surprise him, and then maybe he doesn't cover up with a rebound. When you give him time to think, you're not going to beat him. Get rid of the puck.
Riverhawks win the face-off. They try to get Miller, Christian Miller, but he was 1-on-2, but he does get it in the zone and he steals. Tries to center it. It's still loose. Oliver can't dump it on the net. Slubowski plays it out of harm's way to the near side with 2:29 to go. And we get a whistle.
It's a late whistle. They're going to say, is that a high stick?
A hand pass.
Hand pass. Now the question is, how long do you wait if you're Doug Anthony? How long do you wait to call a timeout? Obviously, probably bring the goalie out with a minute and 20.
I would have maybe saved the timeout, but the face-off, if it was inside the zone, would have been a different story. But a minute 45, a minute 35, a minute and a half maybe.
Yeah.
Ramblers win the face-off, and it's cleared in by Jack Kelly.
You don't want to wait too long, and you don't want to start too early.
Correct.
You may get one before that, but about a minute and a half, I would start thinking about bringing him out, calling a timeout.
In his own zone for the Ramblers, Joe Kelly. Skates it to the neutral zone, finds Emerson, who dumps it in.
All game long, that defense just bringing it out calmly.
Grafton in his own zone. Emerson can't get there, but Jake Schlosser does, but he has his pocket picked. They try to get it up to Miller, and they do. Oh, short little pass, but great stick work by Dylan Elliott to deny. Riverhawks do dump it in. We'll keep an eye on Smouse as we're down to a minute 47 to go.
And Miller's off the ice.
Emerson on the backhand. He's going to get a breath of air, and he'll be back.
He'll be the guy
unless they call a timeout with a stoppage.
Kutch
dumps it in, so you're thinking he's the extra man.
Right,
With a minute 35, Nick Long behind the net. Tries the center, he does. Comes to Donovan Wachowski, fires it low, blocked. It's still loose between the circles. Riverhawks will play it to the near side. Good persistence all over the puck. That's a great job by Nick Long to keep that alive, but it does squirt free to Eliason, who gets it to the neutral zone with a minute 15 to go. Here comes Faulkner. Walks in, wrist shot blocked. Faulkner dumps it in behind. Here come the Riverhawks with a minute 6, a minute 5. Smouse will come off.
And here comes Miller, because they just talked to Miller.
Cottrell into the zone. Miller's off the bench. He fired it. I don't think Kuharski saw it, but it missed the net with under a minute to go. The net is empty to our right. Riverhawks dumping in front. Played by Jack Kelly. Up the near boards. Past Donovan Wachowski. Icing against ECP with 45 seconds even to go. And I would think Armstrong would take their timeout.
I was wrong. It wasn't Miller. I saw one of the coaches go over to Miller and say something, and Miller shake his head. The guy up on the far left, I think it was Joshua Oliver, came on. a little bit surprised that your best player, the leading scorer in Double-A, wasn't on the ice. He was on the ice before this happened. You need him on the ice in the last 2 minutes, Bob, because what if they score at a minute 45, at a minute 55? He's off the ice now for the last minute and 15 seconds. He's your best player. He's on the bench. I don't know about that. That could have been a mistake, having him on at the 2-minute mark, the 2.5-minute mark. And now they got 45 seconds. They'll have a face-off in their zone. Now you work up a play. Now you got to sell out. You got to do everything you can to keep the puck in the zone. You can't wait forever. You got to throw pucks at the net. You got to crash the net. You got to beat the other man to the puck. And if you're Erie Prep, you do what you've been doing all game long. You take your time, you ice it, and now you just whack the puck and get it out of there. But they've been great at getting the puck out of the zone. If it touches a Prep player and they get it out a couple of more times, they probably win this game. But Armstrong putting the puck on the net. They got to put the puck on the net. If they don't get 3 or 4 shots here in 45 seconds, they're not going to win this game.
Among the trigger men for Armstrong, you would think Christian Miller at the forward slot. Donovan Wachowski would probably be one from the point. Also, Luke Gross. Gross is out there.
Joshua
Big man
Miller.
on the face-off.
Miller.
Come in, it is Josh Oliver against Hunter Emerson.
And Luke Gross out there as well.
Emerson wins it. Cleared up, it bounces right back to the man trying to clear it. Schlosser in is Emerson. Can he clear? Armstrong keeps it in. Gross centers. Comes to Jack Kelly. Backhands it out of the zone for brother Joe. But Luke Gross has it with 30 seconds. Near side to Miller. Short little pass. Here come the Riverhawks. Contrell drops it to Nick Long. Fires. Save, rebound. And it goes past Nick Long. But we get a whistle.
Is it a penalty?
That's a quick whistle.
That's a quick whistle.
How could the referee think the puck was in the glove?
They thought, yeah. I love this little drop pass here. And a great shot by, I believe that was Nicholas Long. Nice little surprise. Boom. And in the glove. But boy, the ref must not have saw it. He blew the whistle right
Erie
out.
Cathedral Prep wins another face-off. Can they clear it out? They get it out to center ice. And Vickery has an empty net. Richard Vickery puts it away for the Ramblers. It has been 18 years, and that's going to end in 12 seconds.
That's what they were chanting coming off the ice, and they mob each other on the bench right now. Boy, I got to tell you, what did I say? You've got to get 3 or 4 shots if you're Armstrong. Armstrong might have waited a little bit too long. Those 2 goals early in the first period were too much to come back from, Bobby. Up, down 2-0 to a team as powerful as Erie, as defensive-oriented as Erie, and the hot freshman goaltender who was 6 wins in the regular season and is tearing up in the playoffs. It's just too much for them. Despite the fact that Miller and Wachowski scored, Kucharski's too tough. They're too good defensively, and they're going to win this one 4-2 unless a miracle happens. And I don't think we're going to see a miracle here tonight in downtown Pittsburgh.
20th goal of the year for Richard Vickery, the empty netter. Puts it away for Erie Cathedral Prep. So they will most likely win it 4-2. Jack Kelly gets an assist. The only assist. We got a penalty late charge against Armstrong to Wachowski. And Erie celebrates. The Ramblers win their first PIHL Penguins Cup since 1997.
We're going to do things a little bit differently than they've done in the past. They're going to give the awards out to the second place team after the handshake, awards and medals to the second place team, and then they're going to get them off the ice. And then they're going to give the awards and the trophy to the winning team and let them celebrate on the ice without the losing team there. They're going to do things a little bit differently than they've done in the past. But the man with the cup is out there. The keeper of the cup is out there.
Lenny Santoro.
We're going to be back. We'll have the MSA 3 stars, the Mount Lebanon player of the game, and on video you get to see the celebration, the handshake, and all of the festivities. It is a well-earned victory by Erie Cathedral Prep.
Afterwards in the MSA Sports Post-Game Show, we will bring you the complete Blade Runners post-game scoring summary, as well as the Mount Lebanon Ice Arena play of the game, and then we'll have the Management Science Associates 3 stars of the game as well, as Erie Cathedral Prep defeats Armstrong by a score of 4-2. You have been listening and watching the 2015 PIHL Penguins Cup Championships, sponsored by Trib Total Media, right here in the MSA Sports Network.
Want to learn how to ice skate or play hockey like they do in the PIHL? Looking for a good place to throw that winter birthday party? If you answered yes, Blade Runners is the place to go for public or private skating sessions, plus learn to skate and learn to play hockey classes. And don't forget to check out PIHL game action at their 2 locations in Harmarville and Warrendale. For more information on ice time, class and game schedules, or party planning, visit their website at www.bladerunnersice.com. See you at the rink.
When looking to replace your athletic field, choose ProGrass, first in turf. ProGrass has installed over 500 fields in the U.S. Getting the best artificial turf for your field depends on both the product and the partner you choose. That's why architects, athletic directors, and players choose the ProGrass Performance System. ProGrass maintains an active presence in the synthetic turf industry as members of the Sports Turf Management Association and the American Sports Builder Association, and is proud to be recognized as the FIFA preferred manufacturer. Call ProGrass today, 866-270-6003, or visit them on the web at www.progressturf.com. ProGrass, first in turf.
Welcome back to the CONSOL Energy Center with Mike Azadian and Bob Orkwis on the MSA Sports Network as the Erie Cathedral Prep Ramblers are celebrating on the ice here at the CEC as they win their first PIHL championship in 18 years, their first since '97, their third overall.
Yeah.
They defeat Armstrong 4-2.
And I like the way they did this. In the past, it used to be every single player from the other team would come and shake the one team's hand, the coach's hand after they had already gone through the line. So they do it different. They give them their medal. They go off, and then they let the team that just won with all the emotion celebrate. And there they are, the Prep Ramblers, all touching that cup, and that is a big moment for these kids. Came so close last year, lost 1-0 to Canavan. This is their third time in 4 years. 2 years ago, losing to West Allegheny. 2 one-goal games they lost, and here tonight, a game which they, I don't want to say dominated from the beginning. The first 5 minutes, they had the better of the play. It was an even game, but they took advantage of opportunities, and Armstrong didn't. Armstrong 0 for 5 on the power play. You can look back at that. Hardly getting any shots. Those first 4 power plays really hurt Armstrong. They get a power play goal in one of the first 3 or 4, Bob, this might be a different game.
Here's your Blade Runners post-game scoring summary brought to you by Blade Runners. 2 locations at Warrendale and Harmarville. 2-0 lead for the Ramblers in the first. Trevor Faulkner had both goals, his 18th at 3:44, shoveling in a Ben Eliason rebound, and then a 4-on-4 goal at 7:10. Eliason and Slubowski. Mitch Slubowski had the assists. Donovan Wachowski scored on a deflected shot, hit Jack Kelly, and beat Jacob Kuharski. Oliver had the only assist. That was at 4:37 of the second, and it was 2-1, but then a huge goal in this game. Joe Sala, late turnover, goes to the backhand to beat Taylor Smouse. Faulkner and Jack Kelly assisted on the goal at 15:38. It was 3-1 heading into the third period, but then Armstrong, to their credit, they created a turnover. Jacob Gross found Christian Miller in front all alone. He delayed, beat Jacob Kuharski on the forehand for his 40th of the season. At 11:24, it made it 3-2. Armstrong had a couple of chances, but Richard Vickery was able to salt it away into the empty net, his 20th goal of the year. Jack Kelly had another assist. The empty net goal at 16:48 made the final score. 4-2 shots on goal in the third, 11 for the Ramblers, 6 for the Riverhawks. Game totals 32 for ECP, 26 for Armstrong. And on the power play, Erie Cathedral Prep, 0 for 4 Armstrong, 0 for 5. That is your Blade Runners post-game scoring summary.
Yeah, Bobby, real quick. After being outshot 13-9 in that first period, Erie Cathedral Prep then got 23 shots and outshot them 23-13 the rest of the way. Second and third period, Armstrong just didn't get the shots. The defense for Prep really helped win this game.
Let's move on to the Mount Lebanon Ice Arena play of the game. Mount Lebanon Ice Arena is the place to be for teens in the South Hills on Friday nights. You and I discussed several candidates.
You know, Joe Sala's goal to make it 3-1 was huge. The goal at 4-on-4 by Faulkner was huge. The blocked shots by Prep were huge. Bobby, I'm going to let you call it. Those are three big things.
Those are 3 good candidates, and I'm going to change my vote because I like the 4-on-4 Faulkner goal, but I think that Sala goal off the turnover.
Yeah.
But that's restoring that 2-goal cushion late in the second
They
period.
don't score that, then they only got 1 goal to come back from. It's a lot tougher to come back. I agree. That's a good call, Bobby.
So Joe Sala's goal in the turnover. Faulkner and Jack Kelly with the assist at 15:38 of the second period. Our choice for the Mount Lebanon Ice Arena play of the game. Our final piece of business officially is the Management Science Associates 3 stars.
Number 3 star is going to go to Armstrong's Christian Miller. Had a goal, tremendous force on offense, just kept shooting, probably 4, 5, 6 shots on goal.
Chances, tons of chances.
Tons of chances. A big part of their game had the goal. The number 2 star, and this was a tough call between the 2 and the 1, but Jacob Kuharski with 24 saves. He made at least a half a dozen tremendous saves. He was on his game. Gave up 2 goals, but the 2 goals were really of no fault of his own. Easily could have had a shutout. Jacob Kuharski, the freshman who's been playing since mid-January, was the number 2 star with 24 saves. And the number 1 star with 2 goals and 1 assist. The first 2 goals, the goals to open up the game. One of their leaders, actually one of their top goal scorers, top assist guys, 3rd leading scorer for Cathedral Prep. But tonight, the number 1 star, the Management Science Associates, first star of the game, Trevor Faulkner with 2 goals and 1 assist.
So congratulations to Armstrong. The Riverhawks, Mike, wanted to be the first team to officially win a title for that school. Their season ends as their AA runners up at 16-5-1. It's 20-2 for the Ramblers and 14 straight wins for ECP.
14 straight wins. They've dominated. They've played well. A little under their goal scoring average for the season tonight, but then they're playing another top team. And Prep, the shot blocking, their D on the outbreak, tremendous goaltending, just enough from the forwards, and that's exactly what you do in the playoffs. And they killed 5 penalties. All the combinations you need to be successful in the playoffs, they did it. The only thing they didn't do is score in the power play, but when you're killing off 5 penalties, that's all you need.
Next up for the Ramblers, it is the Pennsylvania Cup AA Championship. And again, I saw a 1:30 time on that, but we need to check that because I couldn't find it to make that official. But if you check the MSA Sports website, as soon as we have that, we'll put it up there. Downingtown East, the Cougars defeated North Penn. So it's Downingtown East and Erie Cathedral Prep next Saturday from the Pacula Ice Arena for the Pennsylvania State Championship at AA. Next up, as far as the network and far as the games here at the CONSOL Energy Center, the AAA matchup at 7:15. It's the 2-man advantage. Josh Roundtree and Adam Horner, the guys who bring in the PHL Power Play show. Cannon McMillan.
They just can't keep those 2 apart.
Butler.
They just can't keep those 2 apart. They try to break them up.
They're all rambunctious here.
They try to break them up.
They're trying to force us out of these chairs.
They try to break them up with a Mike Azadian getting in on the show and a Sean Myers, but they just pull them back together.
You guys have been on the 2-man advantage before, so you're welcome here. It's okay.
That's correct. When you need the physical toughness, you bring us in.
Got it.
And they will have the Power Play show during the week, recapping these Wednesday.
One final time
of the state championships.
One final swan song for those 2 is what we're saying.
So those 2 are next, and then the nightcap is a 9:30 face-off between Quaker Valley and Mars. Sean Myers, Lou Rude will have the call of that. Hope you enjoyed this one as Erie Cathedral Prep defeats Armstrong by a score of 4-2. Thanks to my partner, Mike Azadian. Thanks to
good working with you, buddy.
Jody Zangrilli-Cook, JZC, running the camera and the equipment for the video stream. Thanks for her help as well. And thanks for everyone at home for listening or watching the PIHL Penguins Cup playoffs here on the MSA Sports Network. Your final once again from the CONSOL Energy Center, Erie Cathedral Prep 4 and Armstrong 2. Bob Orkwis saying have a great weekend. Congratulations to the AA champions, the Erie Cathedral Prep Ramblers. You have been listening and watching the 2015 PIHL Penguins Cup Championships, sponsored by Trib Total Media, right here on the MSA Sports Network.
The 2015 PIHL Penguins Cup High School Hockey Playoffs at MSASports.net have been sponsored by the Mount Lebanon Ice Arena, by Blade Runners, by S-Mark, by First Commonwealth Bank, by Carlow University, by UPMC Sports Medicine, by Progress, and by Management Science Associates. Follow the PIHL Penguin Cup playoffs all the way through the state championships by logging on every day to www.msasports.net. The preceding has been an exclusive presentation of the Management Science Associates Sports Network.